light, green light. Go, go, go.
Is going to be the perfect place to dissect the action here today at Bathurst. Let's check out some race facts. We're due for a checkered flag at around 5:45 here local time, which means 270 to 300 laps, which is the equivalent distance of Melbourne to Brisbane for the Euros, about London down to Madrid. Now, lots to talk about here. We'll touch shortly on what's happened here with last night's pole time, but we're looking at about 10 pit stops across the course of the day, which will equate to a fuel window of about 30 to 40 laps. So what does that look like in terms of a race strategy? Let's go back to 2017, which is probably the best strategy we ever saw, the Maranello team. Well, let's through the field. They started the day, Tony Villander drove the car twice, came in hand for Craig Lowndes, came in hand for Jack Winker, another stint for Craig Lowndes, double stint for Villander at the end of the day, and then bang over to Jack Winker to finish it off. What does that look like in terms of driver time? Villander that day, 4 hours, 20 minutes, same with Winker. Craig Lowndes doing about an hour less in the middle. So
Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz TV. This is round number 3 of the AAES Endurance Series. Round 3 of 3. So it's the final round. We're at Bathurst. Pretty exciting. So we're not too far away from getting this one started. About 3.5 minutes to be exact. So let's get cracking. Let's talk about the last time out. It was at Kyalami and Connor Hind with a fantastic drive. Last time out, he was able to stretch that fuel and his tyre life as well to the maximum. And a fantastic effort from him to take P1. So congratulations to Connor Hind, his first win of this series. In terms of who came second, it was Phil Antoon, and in third was Ethan Cale. So Ethan Cale has finished on the podium twice. He was the round 1 winner at Zolder, and he was the round 2 third place getter. So Ethan Cale's up there is up there in the championship. So let's have a look. Connor Hind leads it by 1 point. In terms of the scoring system, it's 50 points for a win, 49 points for second, 48 for third, 47 for fourth, and so on and so on, with a 1 point differential, which keeps the championship really, really close, which is awesome. So basically that means anyone down to 19th can basically win this championship tonight. It is a championship worth winning as well, because there is a first place get a prize. A friend bucks cold hard cash, which is awesome. Second gets 150, third gets 100, fourth gets $30, and fifth gets $20. So all the way down to fifth. So that means that Connor Hind, Ethan Cale, Phil Antoon, John Zoo, and Layla Bell would all get some cash if it was to finish this way this evening. They're the top 5 in the championship right there. And then you can see 11th through 20th, Christian Wells, Robbins, Brock, Van de Venter, Stevens, and Aaron O'Brien in the Jaguar. Down to 39th. There's been more runners than that, but not everyone has scored points. Only down to Daniel Corantoto, who's on 17 points in 30th. But you can see there throughout, plenty of different manufacturers in there as well. Got a nice even spread as well. So as mentioned, first place gets 50 points, and it's a 1 point differential. After that, you can put that into your calculators this evening as we're working out at the closing stages of this one who might take out the championship. In terms of the race setup, it's going to be a 10-minute practice, which they're just about to finish right now. Then we're going to go into a qualifying session. So Q1 will be 25 minutes, will be all drivers. And then Q2 will be 20 minutes, which will be a top 10 shootout, basically. So I'm not 100% certain on exactly how the mechanics of the top 10 shootout will work, if it's going to be solo drivers or if it's going to be just everyone, all 10 out there at the one time. But that's the joy of adventure, right? You don't know necessarily what's coming. So I'm sure we'll be all right, though, at the end. In terms of ballast, as we're about 17 seconds away, the Aston Martin has a weight reduction of 20 kilos. The Audi plus 28, minus 16 for the Bentley. I think that's one of the that, along with the Ferrari 488 Evo, minus 40 kilos. So this is using the low fuel motorsport BOP as well. So this is not just come up off the top of their head for the organisers of this event, Greg Brock specifically. So you can see BMW minus 7, Ferrari 296 minus 15, mentioned the 488. The Honda's got a couple of kilos off, the Lamborghini a little bit more put on, as are the two McLarens, the Mercedes, and the Porsche gets minus 9 kilos. Let's take a look at the circuit, and really it's a track that needs no introduction. This is an Australian league, so predominantly an Australian audience. Most people would know about it. If not, it is world renowned anyway. But obviously Hull Corner, it's over 7 kilometres this circuit, over 20 turns as well. Plenty of undulations going up the mountain, then back down the mountain, especially through the Dipper and then Forest Elbow as well. It says the Hanger Straight there, but we all know it's Conrod Straight through the Chase and Murray's Corner. Let's have a look at where we sit right now. So as you can see here, who was the fastest man in free practice? Looks like it was this man here, Matt Niperez. Just finishing up his time. But in terms of what we've seen in the Hot Lap server, Tyson Robbs was the fastest driver in there, but I don't believe he's racing this evening. So the other one that was fast in there was Chris Cooley, and I'm not really sure if I've seen Chris Cooley's name out here already. So we're about to get started, as you can see. Let's go. All right, cool. So cars just making their way out onto the track. So a 1:59.1 was the fastest time in the hot lap server throughout the week. So just gives us a bit of an idea of plenty of cars pouring out. There's Nando the Tenzer with the Bathurst tribute livery. Very, very nice. He runs that in the Race on Oz League on a Monday night as well, as we've got plenty of cars making their way out on the track. Grant Begg, Vinny Canero, this is going to be his first outing in this series. He won the ART Bathurst 1000 not too long ago, so expect to see his name up the top end of the leaderboard. Connor Hind is out there. I think that was Bracefield is back. Yeah, he is. Let's have a look at that. Look at that. Love it. So nice, that BMW there. We've got Benjamin Hignett, Brad Cook. It's a huge field. What have we got? 48 cars. Hey, Vic Chan. Vic Chan. That's awesome. Good to see him in here. Phil Antoon, one of the championship protagonists. I'm looking for Jay Koza. Oh, yeah, here he is. So last time out at Kyalami, he was the pole position sitter, and then had a bit of an incident at the beginning of the race where he was in the where he was supposed to be at the beginning of the race, but then the game penalised him. So unfortunate for him, he was slugged with a penalty very early on, and ended up deciding not to participate not too long after that, as Vinny Canero is going to be the first driver around. Didn't quite get a livery from him. Means that he's going to be on the screen the majority of the time, I would imagine. See the way it usually goes. I think got pretty much everyone else's as he's making his way up the mountain now towards the cutting. Given the name because they literally cut out this part of the circuit out of the mountain, and he'll head up across the top of the mountain now. Like a nice tidy lap thus far. As now he heads down through the S's. I imagine we're going to see plenty of action through there this evening. We often do. So Vinny Canero, he's not going to be contending for the championship, as this is his first event in this particular series, 3 of 3. It's a quick and short one. The AAES Summer Series. It's been fun. I've had Breno Alice in the box with me for the last 2. I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to make it this evening. He's going to see Aaes tonight. So, I can't really fault him for doing that. Great band, Aaes. Been around for a very long time, so I assume that's what he's doing because I've not heard from him since. So, it's just me this evening. I'll have to do, as Canero comes across the line, a 2-minute flat, 2:07. Fastest time so far. What about Jamie Koza? He was fastest in qualifying last time out at Kyalami. He goes towards the top of the times. Where does he go? To second, P2, 5/100ths of a second off the fastest time belonging to Vinny Canero so far. This is Harrison Barler for Rainlight Racing in the number 21 Mercedes. Louis van der Venter has been practicing hard. Here's another one of our championship protagonists. This is Ethan Cale, all chasing as Webley goes the fastest in the Ferrari. So it's a Ferrari first and third so far. Ethan Cale, he goes up into P4. Who else is out there? Connor Hind, another championship protagonist, is our current championship leader. So he took out pole position in the first round at Zolder. a month ago now. As Hind looking to put in his first time of the evening, goes up into P3. It's a huge field. Here's Brendan Pauly, 196 Lamborghini. He moves up in the times there. What about Chris Boswick in the Barbie Lamborghini? Where's he go? He goes into P26. Ginormous field, 48 cars. I think we had Vic Chan. There's one of them. Where does Vic Chan go? He goes up into P2. Nice work, Vic Chan. He and Jamie Koza will be very familiar racing with one another. Layla Bell, she's changed her livery. So it's gone a much more Kurt Moss kind of vibe about it. There's more the purple and white, or majority purple and silver. Last couple of rounds. It's more familiar. Look at that. They're very, very similar, these two. Where did she come out as well? It was P15, so not a bad start from her. We'll move away from Kurt Moss because he has just invalidated his lap. Here's Herod. He moves up into P12. What about Tarquin Finton in the number 118 McLaren for AAS McCovax? They're all chasing right now Brendan Webley, 2-minute .170. Track conditions at optimum right now, so perfect conditions. This is John Foster doing a little bit of racing there with Bracefield in the BMW. They're going to go side by side through the chase during qualifying, getting all prepared for the race, and a bit of contact there. Well, better to get that out of the way now rather than during the race. Let's see if we can get a car close to the line. This is Alex Tonkin. Try and give some championship standings throughout as well. He's 2 seconds up on his best time. All chasing Brendan Webley. We'll get to him very, very shortly. We'll get to Vic Chan as well because he's about to put in a pretty decent time here. He goes top of the times with a 159.7. So nice work there from Vic Chan. I do believe it's his first or second race. I can't remember. Anyway, here's Benjamin Hignett. He remains there in P12. What about Brendan Webley? Let's see if he can respond right now. Liam Curran is up there as well. He wasn't here for the last race. He is for this one though. He's done a lot of the admin duties throughout for this series. He goes up. He remains in P2. Let's have a look at Liam Curran. Goose Motorsport entry. And through the final turn through Murray's, and only good enough for P4 right now is Carter, John Carter in the 559. He is down on his best time, so we might move. I will follow him to the end. Kurt Moss looks like he's about to put in his first time of the session. Carter remaining there in 14th. What does Kurt Moss got? Good enough for P20. Nice work to Kurt Moss. What about Newman? Ben Newman, Meatworks entry, the number 16. He goes up into P33 for now. As mentioned, ginormous field, 48 cars in total. Alex Tonkin just getting a little bit wide there. Out of the chase. Scrubbed off a bit of time for him. Oh, and he's got all sorts of issues here. Let's go back and have a look at that from on board. What happened here? So he was heading down the hill, and then who's gone? Oh, that looked like it was Vinny Canero, and then oi! Alright, that wasn't That wasn't good. Alright, as we go back to live pitches. That's Chris Boswick. We'll just step away from him because Koza goes to the top of the times. So a 1:59.5. So that fastest time drops once again. Let me just get to another car. This is John Zhu. Stick with him for now. Just looking for another car close to the line as he's navigating his way down through the S's into the dipper. One of the most famous corners in Australian motorsport. Might as well stick with him. John Zhu. Where does he sit in the championship? P4. Only 1 point behind Phil Antoon. He did come third in round number 1 as well at Zolder. So, yeah, had a really good, strong round 1. Can't quite remember where he finished in round number 2, but I think it was up towards the front of the field. Didn't necessarily have as big a field as this. I think it was around about 28 to 30 cars. We've got almost the full field of 50, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's going to take a little bit of keeping up with this evening. Dare say we might lose a few along the way, though, in terms of this track. They don't call it Mount Spinorama for nothing. What about Zhu? What's he got? Where can he shake out? P13. Nice work from him. Nando Latenzio, the Marlboro livery. He's half a second down on his best time. So he's not going to improve from P11. He sits P8 in the championship right now. So he's had a good time of it. Here's Brad Cook in the 695 Porsche entry. He moves up into P17. Nice work from him. What about Brendan Pawley? He is on a very, very slow lap right now. So we'll click across to Braithfield, where he moves up into P30. What are the guys at the front doing right now? Connor Hind has just gone to the top of the times with a 1:59.5. This is Ethan Cale right now. His best time is a 2-minute .197. Looking to improve on that. He does and moves up into P5 for now. Here's Benjamin Hignett again in the Mercedes, the Young Henry's entry. Does enjoy doing some donuts in the pit lane, I have noticed, the last couple of races. So you'll want to keep him to the pit lane, not on the track. And he makes his way through the final turn and doesn't improve on his position. So remains in 14th. 15th is this man here, Kurt Moss. Who else is on a hot lap right now? We might tick over to John Zhu because he's 4/10 up on his best time. A couple of cars that are 4/10 up at the moment. One of them is Crick in the 187 Honda as well. So we might duck across to him momentarily as Moss in 13th. Here's Crick, Mike Crick in the Honda. I think he mentioned because someone needs to be driving the Honda in the chat when he posted his livery. And he's good enough for P32 right now. Someone at the front. This is Phil Antoon. Once again, Braithfield going side by side. This is the second time we've seen him this evening going side by side with someone through the chase. Antoon was 2/10 up on his best time. Let's see how this eventuates, and he's now in the red. So just being held up a little bit there with Braithfield. Here's Michael Pickford, another Bentley entry. I think they had a pretty decent ballast situation sorted for the Bentley as well. Here is Pickford, 2/10 up on his best time, moves up into P8. Trying to get a car close to the end. Johnny Eaton in the number 14 Ferrari. He's down in 30th position. 10.5 minutes left, so we're approaching the halfway mark of this one. We will then move into a 20-minute top 10 shootout. In fact, we are over the halfway mark because this was 25 minutes, I think, from memory. So we'll stick with him. Eaton, is he still up on his best time? 3/10 he is. Only be good enough to move him up, possibly within the top 20. 19th, just squeaks in there. Nice work from him. What about Herod? Disciples of Speed entry, the number 450. Porsche, 7/10 up on his best time. That could get him into the top 10 here if he continues his pace for the remainder of the lap as he comes through the final turn. Murray's corner, and he P12, almost got in there. Kurt Moss improves marginally, goes into P10. Webley not going to improve on his time there. I saw someone coming through. I think that was Liam Curran who just ducked into 4th position there. Latenzio's not going to improve. This is Butterworth. He's 3/10 up. That'd sneak him. Ooh, he'd be around the outside. Just on the outskirts of the top 10 possibly. He goes into 10th exactly. Matt Niperez in the F1 BMW team inspired livery. 18th is where he remains right now. Who else do we have? Here's Greg Brock. He had a new livery for the old Nissan, but hasn't come through properly. So apologies to Greg for that one. It just happens sometimes, unfortunately. So better than being just all black carbon. It's in the Discord if you want to check it out. It looks quite nice. So similar to the livery he was running for the Lamborghini, that Repsol inspired one. Nonetheless, it hasn't slowed him down. He moves into P36. Here's Layla Bell. She's down there in 33rd with just a tick over 8 minutes remaining. A 201.802. A decent time within itself. She improves. Still remains there in 34th position. This is Brad Cook once again. We come around to the 695 Porsche. He's looking to go a couple of tenths faster. And that does not move him up the standings at all. What about Vic Chan? So we go to the pointing end of the field. He's currently sitting in P3, 2.5 tenths off the fastest time belonging to Connor Hind. A 159.5. There's only 5 drivers in the 59 so far. One of them is Vic Chan. He remains in P3. What about Liam Curran? He remains there in 4th position for now. Matt Niperez is 3 tenths up on his best time. Wouldn't be enough to get into the top 10 right now, but we've just got a tick over 7 minutes left. So this is all cars in qualifying. They're going to do a top 10 shootout. We'll see how that transpires. In the meantime, we'll check out Matt Niperez. He improves up into P16. So nice time from him. Ethan Carl's out there, but he's invalidated his lap. Just trying to find someone on a valid lap right now. Aaron O'Brien for Bruzel's Racing. I think that's an in-game livery. I'm pretty sure it is. Nonetheless, it looks quite nice. Check it out. Beautiful sounding Aston Martin. And 3 tenths up on his best time. Moves into P42. Trying to cover the whole field here. Here's Johnny Eaton again. Plenty of red on my screen. We will duck over to Jamie Koza very, very shortly. It's only 2/100ths of a second. And Johnny Eaton lost a massive chunk of time with that big slide coming out of the chase. And all this good work gets wiped out in the matter of one corner. Can rectify it slightly. Moves up into P21. So here's Koza. He was up on his best time. He remains there in P2. Vic Chan, he's sitting in P3. He's on pace right now to take pole position away. Well, provisional pole anyway. And he does. He goes to the top of the times. Nice work there from Vic Chan. Very, very late in this qualifying session. John Zhu, he's 6 tenths down on his best time. So we'll just try and find someone else, possibly, or we'll stick with him for Matt Niperez is the other one. He's not far behind him. No, he's in front of him. Let's see what he does first. He's in 16th, 1.3 seconds off. He's about a tenth and a half away from Phillips, and he moves up into P13. Nice work from him. Here's Zhu, so he finishes off the lap, doesn't improve his position. Remains in P5. Less than 5 minutes remaining. Chan, Hind, Koza, Curran, Zhu, Webley, Kale, Antoon, Pickford, and Kinero. That's your top 10 right now. What about Braithfield? Moves up into 33rd. This is Brendan Pawley. So only the top 10 will move through to the shootout. This is Pawley. He is a little ways away from the top 10. He's in 38th right now. Looking to improve on his time. 3/10 up. Where does that put him? P37. Nice work from him. Here's Skinny Luke. First time we've seen him tonight, this afternoon, possibly morning, wherever you are in the world. Skinny Luke, 32nd right now. Nathan Wilson, this is a person that we haven't seen so far in this qualifying session that only has 4 minutes remaining. Vic Chan and Liam Curran, P1 and P4. In the pits there is Nathan Wilson, just does himself a mischief there at the chase, so he'll teleport back to the pits. Hignett in P17 right now, 2.5 up on his best time. That might get him into the top 15. We'll have to wait and see as he approaches turn 23, Murray's Corner. And Hignett, he doesn't improve his position, so 17th. Keep on coming back to Matt Niperez, but he's the only person putting in some times with green against their name. Chan, Hind, Curran, they're all in the pits. They're happy to watch this from the comfort of there. While this man here, Vinny Canero, currently sitting P10 right now in the 1-2-3 Bentley. Ooh, what about Brad Cook? How's he going? 18th is where he stands right now, so a little bit outside of that top 10. Jamie Koza, he's a 10th up on his best time, so that'd be fastest. That'd be on pace to take the fastest time of the session so far. That belongs to Vic Chan, a 1:59.490. And you can see he's extremely tight at the top. A 10th of a second covers the top 4, sorry. And then covering the top 10, it's 8/10 of a second. So less than a second across the top 10, which is phenomenal. That stretches down to the top 14, in fact. So we've got a really tight competitive field. It is ginormous. It's 47 cars in total. Here's Jamie Koza. He's looking to put his name atop of the times of all of them. Drifts a little bit wide there out of the chase. He's 45/100ths of a second off the fastest time, and he just bottles it there at the final part of the lap. And that is curtains for him. Here comes Tonkin. Minute 38. Who's on the bubble? Butterworth. So Butterworth and Moss. Niperez and Latenzio, they're done for right now. Let's check out Butterworth here. This is Isaac Butterworth, the Garage 59 entry, coming down through the S's. Almost clips the wall there just on the exit. He looked a little bit squirrely under brakes as he was launching that McLaren down. Now into Forest Elbow. Critical corner. Needs to carry as much momentum as he can. Run pretty close to the wall there. He's 3/10 up on his best time, so that would knock Vinny Canero out, who is on a lap right now. Where does he go? He remains in P10, only 8/100ths of a second faster than this man Butterworth, who's 2.5 up on his best time. So right now, Vinny Canero is on the bubble. He could possibly not make it through to the top 10 shootout, as Butterworth makes his way through the chase down the hill into Murray's 3.5 up on his time. He's on track right now to crack the top 10. Can he punch his ticket? He does, into P8. Nice work from him. The other man is Kurt Moss. He is not on track right now to improve his time. Who else is out there who might be able to make up a time? Niperez, no. French, no. Cook, no. So it's looking like Vinny Canero is going to be the only driver here that can really crack into the top 10. Would be at the expense of Pickford, who's in the pits. So he's at risk right now to this man, who's 4/10 up on his best time. So saving his best till last year. as we've gone 000, so time has expired. So he makes his way down into Forest Elbow now. The Bentley signage on the external of the track there as the Bentley flies through. And now Kinero is going to wind it up down this long Conrod Straight. 1.9 kilometres in fact. 2.5 tenths up on his best time. So Pickford will be watching on very nervously right now. Can Vinny Kinero get himself into the top 10? Other drivers that are out there already, Butterworth and Antoon. So they're not at risk right now. Pickford is from this man. He's lost a little bit of time coming out of the chase. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's lost time through the chase and he's not going to. So Pickford lasts. So Pickford survives. And that means this man here, Phil Antoon, who was last time out, he was P2. He's currently sitting P9 right now. And 3.5 tenths up on his best time. That would put him almost within to the top 5. Let's see how he goes through here now. Down Conrod. There it is. Oh, he runs a little bit deep. And he runs wide. And that's probably going to be curtains for him. It is. So he's going to abort that lap. Carter was the other one. He moves up into P20, but that is it. So our top 10 is Vic Chan, 159.590. And all right, we're going to have to just work this out then, aren't we? All right, cool. So I didn't quite get a chance to catch all of that. It all happened very, very quickly. I think Vic Chan was the fastest, and 10th was Vinny Kinero. So I know the book ends, but that's about it. So just got to work out what's happening first, how we're going to get this underway. So it's 20 minutes allocated. And we're just waiting for Vinny Kinero will be the first one to head out. I hear a car moving. Where is he? There we go. Oh, that was... that's Pickford, sorry. No, Kinero missed out. So it's Pickford. Alright. Here we go. So I didn't even get a chance to write the fastest time down. It was like a 1:59.5, something like that. And he's going to do his warm-up. So track's at 20 degrees. It is at optimum. It's 5:01 in the afternoon. So in terms of time, it is going to begin at 6 a.m. and there's a time multiplier of 12. So I'm going to finish at 6 o'clock at night, which will be awesome. So not too sure about the weather. I don't think we should experience too much weather. The Zolder was the exception to that, though. It was a very wet and soggy Zolder circuit. Very peculiar track conditions as well, given the rain and the heat as well. What's going on? Stick Death 1980. What is happening, my man? Alright, so here's Pickford. This is his warm-up lap. So 48 cars in total, almost the whole 50. Had to retire the Jag, couldn't get her steady, so the V12 Aston Martin. Ah, gotcha. That is... I think I know who that is. That was... doesn't matter, I'll work it out later. We're watching Michael Pickford, GT Subaru, the 76. Making his way through Murray's we go. He starts the lap now. Heads into Hull corner. Such an important corner, this one. Easy to not get right. Runs a little bit wide there, so he might have scrubbed off a little bit of time. Should be seeing a car exiting pit lane very, very shortly. There it is. So we'll keep this thing moving. Only 16.5 minutes left. We've not even completed the first one yet. So, casserole guy. Ah, yes, gotcha. Yeah, so I guess we kind of want to get a bit of a hurry up with this. Not too sure what will happen if we don't get everyone done within the 20 minutes. I don't know what the contingency is. As Pickford just scrapes the wall there. That was coming out of the cutting. And he's hit the wall again. I think he's aborted this lap by the looks of it. No. He's going to continue on. He's invalidated the lap anyway. So that's unfortunate for him for his first crack at it. He'll finish off the lap nonetheless. We'll get a bit of an idea anyway of what the time was as he comes down through the dipper. So yeah, track will be very different conditions for the start of the race. This is obviously 5:04 at night. We'll move out of this server into the race server. And just getting a little bit of heat into those tyres. The other car is going to be Phil Antoon, so he'll be the next car out on track. As Pickford just finishing off this lap here. What's he up to? 154, and he's going to make his way into the pit, so he won't even complete it. So he will be beginning the race from P10. While this man here, Phil Antoon, next driver out to have a crack at it. Hopefully we get a time set for that very unique liveried BMW. He heads across the start-finish line to begin the lap. Hard under brakes into Hull corner. And he's got that right. So good start so far to the lap. And he's going to blast up the 1.1 kilometre mount straight here in that BMW, the number 3. Down the hill. And into turn 2 through Griffin's Bend. Keep it nice and tight. Let the car drift out to the left. Nice work. Now, one of the hardest couple of corners on the track here, because it spits you out right. Then you've got to turn it hard back in the left up through the cutting. And then you're heading up through 5 and 6 across Reed Park. Keeps it nice and tight to the wall. Such an exciting part of the track through here. Keeps his foot absolutely flat. Just a slight lift. Wanted to keep it off the wall there. Goes across Skyline. And now starts his descent down the hill. Such a tricky braking zone through there. Down through the S's. Oh, lovely. Such a great feeling when you get it all hooked up. Looks like he did get most of it. Hardest part of the track is behind him now. Makes his way through Forest Elbow and heads down Conrod Straight. Go on board again. What sort of top speed can he get here? Over 250 kilometres so far, 260. Over 270, 280, 286. He touched on almost 300 kilometres down Conrod Straight, up through the chase. And he's going to be the first time lap of this top 10 shootout. Too sure if we're going to get everyone a go here. We've only got less than 13 minutes remaining. We'll see how we go. Phil Antoon, a 2-minute .110 is the first marker laid down in this top 10 shootout. This is Isaac Butterworth, Garage 59 entry. Makes his way through Murray's. So we've got a marker. So this is the third car so far. First one was Pickford. Can't see him on my screen here. Where have you gone? Not too sure. Nonetheless, let's have a look at Isaac Butterworth. So good start to the lap. Got got through Hell Corner without any dramas. 2-minute .110 is the time to beat so far. As he heads up Griffin's Bend, keeps off the wall there, carrying through as much pace as he possibly can. Up through the cutting now. Juice it nice and wide. Oh, some nice lines through there. Looking super smooth so far. Running it super close to the wall. And once again, makes for... Oh, and he's leaving it all out there right now. This is a great lap by Aaes Butterworth. As he makes his way across Brock's skyline and down through the S's. Yeah, he's on it right now. You go on board. Tricky braking zone again into Forest Elbow. You arrive there in such a hurry, can really creep up on you sometimes. Now foot flat to the floor. We saw 286 was the top speed from Antoon on the last trip around. See if... Oh, what's happening here? What happened there? It sounded like he was gearing down across... No, that was someone in the background, sorry. My mistake. So, Butterworth, there's 45. That's John Zhu, who's just getting set for his lap right now. That's who I could hear in the background. Aaes Butterworth, what does he do? A 2-minute .087. So nice work from him. He goes to the top of the times. So far, the car that I could hear belongs to John Zhu. So he is sitting in the championship standings. He sits in P4 right now. So he's definitely a man with some vested interest this evening. He makes his way up through Griffin's. A 2-minute .087. So far it's Butterworth and Antoon. And it was... oh, we got... Webley is the other one. Sorry, Webley is the other one. So we've got more cars out on track because I think this is in light of trying to just get everyone through such a short amount of time. So this is Brendan Webley. So then we've got 2 cars on a hot lap right now. Zhu and Webley. Let's stick with Brendan Webley. Comes through Murray's for the final time. Heads across the line. And it is a 1:59.967. So the first driver to drop into the 59s. As Zhu making his way out of Forest Elbow. And then Liam Curran is the other car out there, as well as Ethan Cale. Is he on a lap right now? I can't actually see. Oh yeah, he's just starting his lap. So just trying to get through all 10 cars in this short amount of time. Zhu is able to navigate the chase without any issues through Murray's corner. Heads to the line, goes P4. So a 2-minute .802 was his time. Next driver up is Ethan Cale, making his way up through the cutting, sitting second in the championship. He was the round 1 winner. Hasn't taken a pole position so far in this series. They've belonged to Connor Hind and Jamie Koza. So we'll see if we can change that this evening. And Liam Curran is also out on track right now, starting his hot lap. So basically doing 2 at a time right now to get through everyone. Keep the action on Ethan Cale though. As he approaches here, Forest Elbow pushing it as hard as he can. So he's chasing a 1:59.967. Yeah, top speed of 285 to Webley down the main straight. I thought we saw Pickford go a little bit quicker. Cale comes in at 282 kilometres down Conrod Straight, heading towards the final turn. 1:59.967 is the time that he's chasing. Makes his way through Murray's short run to the line. He goes P4, a 2-minute point 217, sorry. So that is his qualifying done so far. And we've got, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, it's going to be pretty tight here. Got a few more still to do. I don't know where Pickford's gone. He's like he's left. I think so far we've had 6. We've got Liam Curran out there is 7. 8 is Koza, Hind, and then Vic Chan. So hopefully we get enough time to do all of them. Liam Curran, what can he do in the Lamborghini? He goes up into P5, a 2-minute point 277 is his best effort. So that's good enough for P5 right now. Here's Jamie Koza. He was pole position last time out. See if he can replicate it. Didn't necessarily end very nicely for him, but you can see pushing extremely hard, running it as close as possible to the walls, heading up the mountain across Skyline right now. Oh, he just gets a little bit squirrely out of there, is able to regather it up just in time, make his way through the S's, down through the dipper. Almost looked like there was a little bit of understeer there, possibly. At 159.967, that's another Ferrari, the number 26, Brandon Webley. Looked like it was a little bit untidy across the top of the mountain there for Koza. We'll see how it shakes out as he blasts down Conrod Straight. Just a tick over 5 minutes remaining. Got another car out there. That's Connor Hind beginning his hot lap. He's going up Mountain Straight right now. Koza will finish this lap, and then I think we'll only have 2 more. So I think we're probably just going to scrape through here. There's Koza now, making his way down to the final turn. It's looked like an all-right lap. Let's see if the time indicates it is. It is at 159.317. So we saw him pushing extremely hard, and Jamie Koza is looking to make it back-to-back pole positions. Last time out at Kyalami, oh he is. Hind just hits the wall there out of Sulman Park. Heading across Skyline now, down through the S's. So 59.317, that's 6.5 tenths faster than the time laid down by Webley. Let's see what Hind can do. He's our championship leader right now. He was our round 2 winner, and he did take pole position in round 1 as well. So he's been at the pointy end for the last 2 races. And once again, we find him at the front of the field for the 3rd and final race in this series as he blasts down Conrod Straight. What sort of speed does he do? It's 286 kilometers an hour down Conrod. I think that was the fastest. It was, 287 to Koza, who this man is chasing right now. Someone could go for a Bogues right now. P5 is his best time. So 2-minute point 135 is the time from Connor Hind. Not good enough right now for pole position. Who is out there? I'm trying to track this car. Here we go. Vic Chan. So is this it? I think this might be it. Yeah, it is. So Pickford is going to start from P10. And they're all chasing this man. And this is his warm-up lap. So he's going to have to get across the top of the mountain here pretty rapidly. And then begin his flying lap. Because this is not the fast lap. So Genjamin, I could really go for a Bogues red right now. Yeah. Funny that. As Chan getting set. So this is not his qualifying lap. Just to be clear on that. There's the Bentley. Very nicely presented. Bentley it is as well. Monster Energy theme there. In the orange, not really a colour that you associate with, I guess, with the traditional Monster Energy, but they have so many different flavours now. So who was the fastest time? Yeah, I think it was Koza. Sorry, the fastest speed. Koza was the fastest. And he's been fastest across all three sectors as well. A 37.935. That's the fastest sector one from Koza as Vic Chan sets off. This is the final participant in our top 10. Oh no, he's lost it at the first turn. So he's overcooked it, and that's it. So Vic Chan, unfortunately, he has lost it at Hull Corner and has put a premature end. Here I was sitting here thinking, oh, we might not get enough time to get it all done, but we have. And it is this man right here, Jamie Koza, with a pole position. I'll put that in my book, and that is 2 in a row to him. That's $10 in his pocket as well. So a 159.317. That was, I think, a little bit faster, around about the same time that he had in the hot lap server. So congratulations to Jamie Koza. He'll be hoping it doesn't end the same way as it did in round number 2 in terms of the car positioning and all that sort of stuff at the start of the race. All right, so I think we are
green light, go, go, go.
going to get out of this server, and then we are going to leave this server, join race server. All right, cool. So I will go back to the welcome screen. Cool. So I'll jump out of this one. I'll head back in. Give us a couple of minutes and we'll get the new server up, and yeah, we'll get this one underway. It's a 3-minute pit time. It's a 3-minute pre-race timer anyway, so we're gonna have a bit of time. So I'll probably be back in like 2 or 3 minutes by the time I get into the server and all that sort of stuff. So sit tight, relax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink, do whatever, go to the toilet, whatever you need to do. I'll be back in, yeah, give us 2 or 3 minutes, I'll be back.
Green light, go, go, go.
Is going to be the perfect place to dissect the action here today at Bathurst. Let's check out some race facts. We're due for a checkered flag at around 5:45 here local time, which means 270 to 300 laps, which is the equivalent distance of Melbourne to Brisbane, or for the Euros, about London down to Madrid. Now, lots to talk about here. We'll touch shortly on what's happened here with last night's pole time, but we're looking at about 10 pit stops across the course of the day, which will equate to a fuel window of about 30 to 40 laps. So what does that look like in terms of a race strategy? Well, let's
All right, back. So, a couple of minutes before we get this one underway. Let's have a quick look at the grid. So, it's Jamie Koza who'll be starting from P1, Brandon Webley. Great time from Brandon Webley as well. Where does he sit in the championship right now? He is not in the top 20 that I can see. So, yeah, unfortunate for him, nonetheless. Butterworth is another one. I don't know if this is his first race. Possibly. Phil Antoon, one of the championship contenders right now. He's the highest of all. He's just ahead of the championship leader, Connor Hind and Ethan Cale. So P1 in the championship is Hind. P2 is Antoon. Connor Hind is first in the championship. Ethan Cale, then Phil Antoon. And they're all within one position of each other, 4th through 6th. Liam Curran, good to see him have a good run there in P7 in another Lamborghini. John Zhu starting there from 8th position. Pickford from 9th and Vic Chan from 10th. So keep an eye on him. He didn't get a chance to qualify, but he was the fastest in the preliminary qualifying session. Vinny Canero just missed out. He's going to start in P11. Hignett in the Mercedes, highest of the Mercedes, starting from 12th. Kurt Moss in the Aston Martin, 13th. We won't be able to miss him, will we? 14th is Matt Niperez. Latenzio in 15th in the Aston Martin. Tony French in the Ferrari. He's going to start 16th. 17th, it's one Porsche. It's the 695 belonging to Brad Cook. And then Matthew Herod in the 450 Porsche starting 18th. 19th is Simon Phillips. Then it's a couple of Lamborghinis. It's John Carter in 20th. Nathan Wilson joining him in 21st. Splitting up a trio of Lamborghinis is this man here, Johnny Eaton. Will be joined by Chris Bosick in 23rd. Then it's a couple of McLarens. It's like Noah's Ark here. Everyone's in 2x2s. It's Carl Johnson starting in 24th. Grant Begg in 25th. Crab will be starting in P number 26. Didn't get his livery. Simpub usually have good liveries. Tonkin starting in 27th. Skinny Luke starting in 28th. Layla Bell, a fair way back for her. P29 in the number 8 Porsche, so we'll monitor her progress throughout. 30th is James McCauley. He had the Red Rebel Racing entry, so they've changed it up a little bit. I like it. I'm digging the new sort of animated kind of vibe about that. Ben Newman, he's going to start from 31st in the Meatworks entry. Mac Power in the McLaren, the number 67, he's starting from 32nd. Chris Taylor will begin the race from P33. What are those pictures of? Interesting. Finton will be starting the race. Tarkin Finton. Tarquin. I've heard of a Tarkin, but not Tarquin. 34th. What's happened, Harrison Barley? He's missed the start. If you have, by the looks of things, Marsh and Moss as well. So 3 off the bat will be starting the race from the pit lane. Jake Green in the Pub Boys entry. He's starting 37th. Bracefield 37th. 38th, Louis Van Deventer. He's been practicing very hard. Apparently, Crick, because that's what's happening. They're all dropping. Starting from 37th, so just let them sort themselves out. Greg Brock begins the race from 38th. 39th is Mark Stevens. He had a very eventful Kyalami, Mark Stevens. I don't think he'll be wanting a replay of that. Here's Aaron O'Brien in 40th. Shane Robbins in the KISS entry. Oh, look at that. They're playing their last shows, apparently, shortly. In 42nd, Lockie Andrews. He's 42nd, in fact. Foster is 43rd. Boots and Gillian Racing entry, the 604. Here's Mitchell Cole. He's going to start the race from 44th. 45th is Brendan Pawley in the Aperture Science entry. Chris Cooley. Where have you been, Chris Cooley? He wasn't in qualifying, but I was looking for his name. He was second fastest in the Hot Lap server as well. So keep an eye on him. He did start from the back of the field in Kyalami and carved through the field like a hot butter through knife. A hot knife through butter. I knew I was going to miss that up. But that's our field. filtering down Conrod Straight. So in game time, 6:37. They were disconnected. Oh, did they get disconnected? Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, that is very rough for them. So you can see a massive train of cars. How many do we have? 49. My goodness gracious. It still doesn't top the 70 that did the Spa 3 hours. That was fun. That was an awesome night. That was good times. All right, we are getting ready to get this thing underway. Cars are already pairing up. Let's head to the front of the field. I'll get the replay button ready because we could have some action. We've already got a little bit of action there in the going through the chase. But it's going to be Kozer and Webley, 2 Ferraris, and all Ferrari front row. Keep an eye on Phil Antoon, Connor Hine, and Ethan Cale. They're 3 of the top 3 in the championship. So is John Zhu, he's 4th. Layla Bell, all the way back. She's got a lot of work to do. And the work is about to begin as they head towards the line. We're going to get the signal. Jamie Kozer in a much better position than he was in Kyalami. Gets a nice jump. We're underway. They're going to go 2 by 2 down into Hull Corner. What will we see here? Everyone managing to get through, all on their best behaviour so far. Bracefield, a little bit of back to nose action. Robbins as well. Mark Stevens, he's already having an eventful race as we saw in Kyalami. As we head up the front straight, up the mountain straight for the first time, it's Kozer leading from Webley, Butterworth. Antoon is in there, but the main thing is it looks like everyone's managed to get away without any issues as Webley and Butterworth battling it out. Zoo and Curran, I think they've dropped a couple of spots. They're in 7th and 8th right now as they go up through the cutting. That was the Mercedes of Hignett. He's battling it out there with Vinny Canero, who started 11th. He's dropped a spot already into P12 as they head across the top of the mountain for the first time. They're still all filtering out of the cutting. Oh, what is going on here? Something big has happened here. Let's go to the replay and I'll see what I can find. Oh, no, I did it for a minute. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. We're just going to have to sit it out. Chris Boswick was... oh, no, there we go. Got it back. Don't know what happened. Oh, that was James McCauley. He runs off there across the top of the mountain. There's others going off as well. That was Andrews. So hard to keep up with 50 cars on track, 40, 49 or whatever it was, all at the one time, as Kozer is going to lead them down through into the chase for the first time. I've got the replay screen still up. Oh, that's Butterworth. Just drops off momentarily. He's back. That's all right. And Kozer will lead them across the line for the first time. So he leads. It's Webley, Butterworth, Antoon. That is a Bentley. That's Pickford having a bit of a look right now between him and Curran. So they go through Hull Corner and Pickford. Oh, that was Latenzio flying off in the background. He's able to get back on the track. And he's back able to join. So, good work to Nando Latenzio. He's in championship contention. There's another one going off the circuit there. So they're all just battling with the track conditions a little bit at the moment. It's only 11 degrees air temperature. Matches the track temperature. So not a lot of grip out there, although it does say it is optimum, as Liam Curran and Michael Pickford battling it out still there in 8th and 9th. Kozer has already opened a 1.7 second lead on Webley in P2. Butterworth there in 3rd. Antoon and Cale. And we are going to get some lovely pictures as the sun is about to start poking through. Will make it quite difficult for the drivers though as they come across the top of the mountain. Got a time multiplier of 12, so it shouldn't hang around for too long and should clear up relatively quickly. So we'll still get some nice images filtering through. Just trying to get us across the whole field right now. Oh, Mac Power, what's happened? So that's down through the S's. Got other cars coming, he does. and he is going to fall all the way down to the rear of the field, as he's going to have to wait for all the other cars to pass. Does a quick little flick spin, and was that Skinny Lip? It was Andrews, Lockie Andrews, who just makes a little bit of contact with him, but they're able to all continue on. So we're watching Liam Curran and Pickford, but it's Koza continues to open up the lead. 2.3 seconds now, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, continuing to grow. We're looking at Liam Curran and Michael Pickford in 8th and 9th. And looks like Layla Bell has made up a few positions already, quite a few. She's in 22nd right now. And we've got, Taylor has gone around at the chase, and Harrison Bala was involved with Mac Power, has not had a good start to this one. It's the second time he's spun on this lap, so not a great stop from him. And Tarquin Finton is in the pits as well, so as Canero making up another spot past Hignett, so he's back to where he started in P11 as they're going up through the cutting. Butterworth all over the back of Webley right now. Butterworth was 6/10 faster on that previous lap, so Webley's got his work cut out for him. In the meantime, Jamie Koza continues to open up the lead at 3 seconds now as they make their way down through the S's. We'll see a lot of action, already have so far this evening. Webley's got his hands full. He's got Butterworth, Antoon, Kale and Hind behind him, all championship protagonists. Throw in Zoo there as well. He's in 7th. They're all covered within about a second and a half right now. Vic Chan occupying P10. That's where he started. That's where he currently is. Tony French made a little mistake there across the top of the mountain. He's all good though as we go on board with Connor Hind down Conrod Street. He's got Ethan Cale ahead of him. Lamborghini versus Ferrari, P1 and P2 in the championship right now. That's Phil Antoon. He's in the top 3 as well. And I think that was Zoo who's just fallen off the track. It is. And he loses a couple of spots as Connor Hind just showing the nose, having a little look down the inside there. So Zoo's lost a bunch of spots, and then Hignett losing a spot there to Matt Niperez, and Herod looking to get in on the action as well. I should go back to that, shouldn't I? They're going to go almost 3 abreast down the front straight, 2 by 2 into Hell Corner. They're able to go and figure that out, get that done. So good driving to those guys. Back to Pickford. He is less than half a second behind. It's very, very close between P3 down to P9 right now. Vic Chan has made up a little bit more ground there on Liam Curran, who occupies P8. I'll do a quick little update on terms of who's made up what positions. But this is a very angry pack here, and it contains 3 of our 4 championship protagonists. Cook and Hignett have swapped positions as well, so the Porsche manages to get past the Mercedes there as they head across the top of the mountain. So it's only a 2-hour race, and I say only. It's a long track. When you're talking 2-minute lap times, that 2 hours is going to absolutely fly by. So we'll be done and dusted before you know it. And it's just going to be a case of balancing out, a little bit of patience. Was that Butterworth? Where is he now? Was it Webley? Who had contact with the wall there? Or was it a lapped car? I think it might have been a lapped car. I'm not too sure who that was. I'm positive. Saw someone bouncing off the walls. This is Pickford in the Bentley. Can't see any witness marks on his car as of yet. But Koza, a 3-second gap now over Butterworth. Have a look at these guys. Oh, that's Kale and Hind coming together. That's a big moment for the championship right there. That is huge. Let's get to the replay and see what happened here. So we're with Ethan Kale going down Conrod. Hind just pulls out there. Oh, he just gets on the grass there as they go through the chase. Oh, and Kale just got upset there on the inside of the curb. And he and Hind go around as we go back to live action. So Ethan Kale now down in P19, and Connor Hind, where is he? Filtered out to Hind down in P26 now. So P26 and P19 is P1 and 2 in the championship. That's music to this man's ears. I'm sure he won't be cheering on, I'm not insinuating he's cheering on, neither am I, the demise of Kale and Hind, but that puts this man in the box seat right now. We're less than 10 minutes into this race, so still a very, very long way to go, but that is a very, very big moment in this championship between Hind and Kale. Two of the front runners as well. Sarantoon, he's 4 tenths behind. Thingo, stop go penalty, speeding in the pit lane, car 55. That is Chris Boswick in the Barbie Lamborghini entry. Oh, that's a big hit for Liam Curran as well. That's going to be a lot of time in the pits for him. Let's go back and have a look what happened here. Oh, he was getting a little bit loose there across Skyline, down through the S's, and then down through the dipper. Oh, he just clipped the wall and speared him off into the left-hand side there. And that's going to be big damage. The bonnet was popped up. That's usually an indication of around about at least a minute worth of damage. And that's put a big dent in his race very early on. So he's currently P9, but he'll have to pit after that one. As we go back to live action, we've got Vinny Canero. He's already moved his way up from P11 into P8 right now. Jamie Koza continues to lead this one. 3.3 seconds is the gap between him and Isaac Butterworth as Niperez has moved ahead. That's because Liam Curran is in the pits. But Isaac Butterworth in P2. Third is Webley. For how much longer though? Because he's got this man in an angry BMW, Phil Antoon. He's currently sitting in P4. Looking to go around the outside here of Griffin's Bend. Just tucks in, thinks better of it. And this man here is in championship contention after Kale and Hind both make contact with each other. Hind currently P25. Ethan Kale's moved up another spot into P18. So a long way still to go for those guys. What about Chris Cooley, who started from the rear of the field? Just trying to track his progress. Already into P27. Do you believe that? I do believe it, because we saw him do it last time around. Ethan Kale's lost 12 spots off the start, 20 spots to Connor Hind, 13 spots. James McCauley has dropped back. Tonkin's dropped back to 12. Liam Curran, 36. Tony French, 33. And Chris Boswick, 27. The biggest riser, Kurt Moss, 17 positions. Cooley, 19 positions. 12 to Bracefield. So we've had some big movers, risers and fallers so far. And at the front though, it's Jamie Koza, who's been just able to keep his nose out of all of it. He's 3.3 seconds the lead over Isaac Butterworth. Last lap around, he was a 10th faster than Butterworth. So Koza at the moment well in command of this one. But we've only been going for 12 and a bit minutes, so still a long, long way to go. Track conditions have heated up 1 degree, as has the air temperature. It's 7:58 a.m. in-game time. Time multiplier of 12. We're watching Phil Antoon. Is there some other closer cars as well? What about Layla Bell? She's moved up 9 spots from her beginning of 28. So she's one of the championship protagonists, as well as Connor Hind gets past Johnson, so he moves up now into P24. So plenty of work still to do for him, as we're seeing cars making their way up Mountain Straight, looking for some close action as well. This is Tonkin and Bala as well, going through the chase. Looks like Bala might have a little bit of damage there as Taylor coming through. We saw him caught up in an early lap incident. I think that McLaren might have a little bit of damage to it as well, belonging to Tonkin. Even the Audi as well to Foster, you can see some witness marks there on the front of the car. So plenty of cars already in the wars a little bit. Layla Bell all over the back of Nathan Wilson. How good is this? This is a lot of fun. Cars everywhere, 49 car field around Bathurst. The final round of this series. Oh, Hignett, what's happened? Caught the tail end Oh, he's going into the wall backwards there. And the marshal just waving the flag there, letting him know, you did this, mate. Not laughing at you. Oh, it's just, oh, that's a decent old hit as well. We're expecting to see trouble there, and we've seen it already in the early stages of this one. So he's still there with live pictures now, and he's going to flick around and get going again. So we'll see if he can continue on with that damage or not. Looks like Hind has made his way past another car, so he continues his climb back up the field into 22nd. Looks like Johnson just trying to get a little piece of the action there as well on Begg. Not quite at this stage. Liam Curran, he's out of the pits, and he's moved up a couple of spots already. He's taken a spot away from Mark Stevens. Got a car in the pits. That's Chris Bozzick, so he's repairing that Lamborghini right now. Gap out in front between Koza and Butterworth. It's 3 seconds the difference. Webley 4.6 seconds behind Butterworth, and then we've got a cracking old battle going on between Phil Antoon and Pickford right now. Last lap around, Antoon did a 201.135. Pickford did a 201.075, so slightly faster, but only just. That's Vic Chan chasing them in the background. He's already moved up 4 spots since this race started as well. And it has been action from the get-go. And Pickford, he's moved up, 4 spots, so started 9th. Stop-go penalty, car 420, causing collision. Stop and go penalty for car 420. Yeah, 420. Who is 420? That's Alex Tonkin. So it looks like the stewards didn't take any action between Hind and Kale as well. So they've been given the all clear and able to just play on there for now. Anyways, we have a look at Connor Hind, currently in P22 right now. He's got Bracefield just up ahead of him. And that's Skinny Luke, who looks like he might have a little bit of damage there as well to that Aston Martin. As Hind rearing up on the rear of the BMW. Beautifully presented BMW, I might add. As they go side by side. We saw Bracefield doing this in qualifying, and it's ended a lot better than what we saw. Oh, that's Nathan Wilson, who's having some trouble there at the chase. Let's see what happens here. That was, I don't think that was that Kale, I'm not too sure, but Wilson just comes undone there. We'll go back to live pictures in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alright, let's go back to Pickford because he's challenging with Phil Antoon, who's looking to make his way past Webley, and they've got Vic Chan closing in on them fast. You can see him there in the Bentley. Vinny Canero in 7th though. He's 4.9 seconds off these guys, so he's got a little ways to go to make up some ground to get in this battle. But it's a Bentley from P5, 6 and 7 right now. It's a Ferrari leading the way. 3.5 seconds is the gap. 3.7 in fact right now between Koza and Butterworth. Webley is 4.9 seconds off those two. And then the position 4, 5 and 6 you can see here. You can throw a blanket over them right now. 4, 5, 4, 5 and 6. 3, 4, 5 and 6 right now as they head down Conrod Straight. 13 degrees air temperature, 13 degrees track temperature, still at optimum. Wow, Nathan Wilson just having a real one to forget for him. Where is that? That is, that's up through, is that up through near Silman Park? I think it is. Yeah, so not having a great time of it right now is Nathan Wilson. Here's Connor Hind. He's chasing down Skinny Luke, so he continues his way back up through the field. Ethan Kale is in 14th, so I think he dropped down to 19th. As Hind has a little look. Might have had a flashback about what happened a few laps ago. Thinks better of it. stick with this action because this is big championship implications. There's John Zhu. He is... Oh, he had issues at the beginning, didn't he? He's down in 40th right now. So, at this stage, this very, very early stage, this championship is Phil Antunes to lose, basically. A long way still to go. Only 20 minutes have transpired. It's a bit of a big call, I guess. Knowing this man, though, after the performance that we saw at Kyalami, took out the race victory there, and Ethan Cale race victory number 1 in round 1. So, a long way still to go as Shan has managed to get past Pickford. Let's see how that came about. So they're going across Skyline here. Does he put a move? Oh, Pickford runs wide there, just at Skyline, and that's allowed Chan to slip through. So Vic Chan gets a nice little gift from Pickford and moves up into P5. So despite the error in the top 10, oh, Skinny Luke, what's happened to Skinny Luke? Where are you? Oh, I wonder if he was with Connor Hind, was just behind him. So we go to the replay to see what happens. This is across Skyline, down through the S's. Oh, he's clipped the wall as well. So we saw someone else do that earlier, and Connor Hind was a little bit of collateral damage in that too. So as we go back to live images, and Connor Hind, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. And that's Chris Cooley just slicing his way past. That's Braithfield off the track at the chase, and that's the second time that Connor Hines had someone falling off the track in front of him in the space of about 3 or 4 turns. So he will be a very frustrated man right now behind the wheel of that 705 Ferrari. Skinny Luke, the man who kicked all of this off, he's in the pits right now. So Connor Hind, 1.8 seconds behind Johnson. Braithfield giving chase, and Cooley. So he's got his hands full with those guys. Out in front, started to settle down a little bit. Koza, 4.5 seconds, continues to grow the gap over Butterworth. He's 4.5 seconds ahead of Webley, who has Phil Antoon for company, which is the battle we're watching right now. Chan and Pickford, they're a couple of seconds back each. Kinero, Niperez, Herod and Cook rounding out the top 10. Skinny Luke in the pits. Let's have a look at Liam Curran trying to put a move here on Taylor. Louis Van de Venter is in there as well. As they head down the start-finish straight. And that is Taylor putting the move on. And right one there. There we go. And he moves up there into P31. Got Liam Curran there for company. Mike Crick in there as well. A few other cars dicing. That was Newman. Oh, Foster. What's happened for... Oh, no! So, go back to the replay. We'll see what happened here. So we saw this kind of developing. Is that Matt Power in there as well? I'm not too sure. Let's see. So they're going up through Griffins. Oh, he just got a little tap there. And then bang. So, not good. It's not the way you want to be facing out of there. And he is currently teleporting back to the pit. So he's done as Cooley gets past Braithfield. He moves up into P20. Let's see how that one came about here. I think this would be pretty much textbook stuff from Cooley in the number 69 Aston Martin. And yeah, sends it down the inside and gets the job done nice and easily there on Braithfield. So textbook stuff there from Cooley as we go back to live pictures. And Antoon once again closing on the back of Webley, who's done a fantastic effort to soak up all the pressure thus far. His last lap was a 2:01.5 was Webley, 2:01.4. Stop go 67, causing a collision. Who is that? 67. That is... Oh, Layla Bell and Johnson have got 5-second penalties to their names as well. Who's car 67? man. 67. Don't know. Oh, 67. Mac Power is the one with car number 67. There's Antoon putting the pressure on Webley. They've got Vic Chan. Pickford's just dropped off a little bit from this group here. 5.5 seconds is the gap now between Koza and Butterworth. 5-second penalty for car 118. 118. That is Tarkin Finton. Mate, can't forget that name. Not far away from hitting the quarter-way mark of this one. Antoon, Webley, Chan occupying 3rd, 4th and 5th. What about Hayden Marsh here in the Taco Sport entry? That was Greg Brock there into the wall. And it's caused a little bit of a traffic jam. He's wall riding now down towards, let's just see what happened here. So he's making his way down through to the Aaes. And, he just got a little bit out of shape and then speared into the left there. And Marsh did a good job of avoiding that. I think O'Brien made out like a bit of a bandit there. He was able to get away with that relatively scot-free as we go back to live images. And that's Marsh and Paulie just getting past Brock, who I dare say is probably going to need a visit to the pits to repair that Nissan. As Kurt Moss and O'Brien, these guys have made up a ton of spots. So Kurt Moss, he started 47th because he was in the pits. He's now 25th, up 22 spots. And O'Brien, he started 40th. He's currently in P24, up 16 spots. So nice work from him. Vinny Canero, that's not nice work. He's facing the wrong way. Let's see what happened here. He just clips the inside and then gets on the grass. And that could have been very, very awkward. Still awkward nonetheless. He's going to have to flick back the other way. This is where we caught up with him. So go back to live pictures in a moment. There we go. And always does that. Here we go there. And where are you, Vinny Canero? Oh, man. So many cars. Anyway, Vinny Canero somewhere on the track. Webley's in the pits. This is a very, very interesting pit stop. So I dare say that would be some sort of strategy. Unless, can we see any damage there? No. Nothing really. 5-second penalty for car number 52. That is Ethan Cale. So that's a bit of salt in the wound after he's moved up from, P19 after that incident. In P11, 5-second penalty is not going to help his case at all. I wonder if I spoke too soon. That might have been for the incident with Hind. I'm not too sure. 17th is where Hind finds himself right now. So a few cars with penalties next to the name: Cale, Bell and Johnson. And we're watching Chan and Antoon. So Phil Antoon is in the championship box seat right now. Finished in P2 last time out at Kyalami. Currently finds himself 3rd. Jamie Koza, what could have been at Kyalami? He's P1 right now. Have commentated on a lot of Jamie Koza's races back in his console days. 5-second penalty for car number 27. Car 27, that's Marsh. There you go. So he's got a penalty. Here's Vic Chan. Got a little bit of traffic here. That's Mac Power. Just has to get off the gas ever so slightly. Might have made slight contact there with the rear of Antoon. So heading down into the chase at the end of Conrod Straight, going around the outside. Losing a little bit of time, and he's got Pickford here as well for company. You can see the other Bentley. Yeah, Vinny Canero was the other one. He's down there in P20. There you go. So Vic Chan. You can see as we go on board, he's got Phil Antoon. You can see in the rear the other Bentley chasing him down right now. gap, 4.8 seconds between Butterworth and Koza. Last lap around Koza, 202.430, 201.5 to Butterworth. So perhaps a little bit of traffic starting to play its role here. You can see the track map is absolutely chock-a-block full. We still have Paulie. What's happened here? We've got a couple of cars and French. Facing the wrong way. Let's see what happened here. Coming across the top of the mountain down through the S's. And that's the Ferrari. Was that? I can't remember. And he just turns it around by himself. So, a bit of a whack. And that's the thing about this track too. When it bites, it very rarely lets you off. It's often pretty punishing. Back to the battle out in front. What's happened here? Cook. Oh, this is really, really awkward. You'll have a small gap here. Now we can have a go at it. Oh no, and the car's turned off, and there he goes. All right, so he's teleported back to the pits. Here's Vic Cham back on the rear of Phil Antoon, who I dare say, will he be aware of Cale and Hind, the predicament they find themselves in? Cale in P10, little ways back from these guys, but he's got that 5-second penalty hanging over his head. He's gonna have to serve that pretty soon. That's the Mercedes just getting out of the way. That's lap traffic. That's good driving there from Hignett, letting the faster guys through. Very smart. Well done. And last lap, half a second faster advantage. Vic Chan. That's their top speeds. Antoon has the pace advantage. 287 kilometres compared to Vic Chan. 283 is his fastest speed. As Cooley gets past Hind. Let's see how that came about. That's two pretty rapid guys doing battle there at the mid-pack, or the top third, and that's how it all went down. So Hind was happy just to concede that to Chris Cooley, who now moves up into P15. Will he start to come into contention at the later stages of this one? He has already moved up a total of 31 spots. Started in P46, currently P15 right now. Looks like he's got a pretty clean and straight car too, so keep an eye on him. His last lap around was a 201.2. That is, I think he was the fastest car on the circuit that last trip around, so keep an eye on him. He's 4 seconds behind Layla Bell, who's currently 14th. She started in P28, so she's already moved up 100% of her spots. As Vic Chan once again tucked under the rear wing of the BMW belonging to Phil Antoon. So they go hard on the brakes into the chase. Now Pickford's just dropped off a little bit from these guys. That's car number 196 behind them. And we've got some yellow flags here. Bag. Oh, hey, that's a big one. That's at the S's as well. And what about Hignett? That's okay. Let's have a look here. What happened? Oh, it was already a little bit squirrely there coming on the entry into before he got to Skyline. He's run a little bit wide there and, yeah, giving it a fair old whack. A 360, 720 spin just to finish it off there for Begg. And that's probably going to be a fair amount of time in the pits. And he's teleported back there already. So, looks like he might be done for the evening. Let's go to James McCauley. The Red Rebel Racing entry, 623. He's tucked under the rear wing of the 666 BMW, belonging to Robbins. Top speed, 286 to McCauley, 284 to Robbins. So they head down Conrod Straight, the fastest part of the track. Bit of a bump in the road there, unsettling the cars ever so slightly. That up ahead of them, I think that might be a lapped car because it's an Aston Martin. Or is it? Hang on. No, that's Lockie Andrews. Sorry, that is not a lapped car. That's Greg Brock in behind them as well. So this is all for position. Down in 13th, 14th. 13th. 33rd, 34th, 35th. I'm not used to saying those are high numbers usually. Ethan Cale, has he served his penalty yet? He hasn't. So, not too sure if the same rules apply that you need to serve it within 3 laps. He's still got it hanging over his head, as does Layla Bell and Johnson. So, I would assume no. The same rules don't necessarily apply. As we're watching him just trying to make up some ground here on Nando Latenzio. He's having a good run. Currently P9. He started 14th, so he's moved up 5 spots. As we've gone over the quarter way mark already, so 35 minutes down. Plenty of time left in this one. So as it stands, 4.9 seconds the gap between Koza and Butterworth. Last lap around, Koza was a 201.285 to Butterworth a 202 flat. So slight advantage to Koza. He's just eking that gap out now at 5 seconds. We're watching Ethan Cale chasing the Aston Martin of Nando Latenzio, who's got Phillips just up ahead in the McLaren. So these guys are sitting 8th, 9th and 10th. What about Connor Hind? He is 1 second behind Chris Cooley. They're in 16th position. 201.852 was his last lap to Connor Hind. So big championship implications because Phil Antoon, sitting in 3rd position right now, would take out the championship if the race was to end. We've still got an hour and 24 remaining. A lot can happen between then and now. As Hignett, he's in the pits, as is Chris Taylor. And Greg Brock here, just pulling out of the draft on James McCauley up the front straight. Going to be the latest of the late breakers, the GTR, just not quite up to it there. And McCauley able to hold position in 33rd there. As we're seeing a train of cars making their way up Mountain Straight, looking for the closest action. Vic Chan, 4 tenths behind Phil Antoon. He was a couple of tenths faster on that previous lap as well, so he's got some decent pace about him. Just can't quite get that Bentley past the BMW right now, so he's just going to have to bide his time for now. We've got some great racing at the front of the field and all throughout. Chris Cooley has just put the move there on Layla Bell, so he takes another position, now moves up into P14. That is his 32nd position gained. He's going at almost a minute, a position a minute at this stage. Vic Chan just wants to go 1 position, not even a position a minute. He'll be happy with a position in a few minutes. Trying to get past Phil Antoon, car 21 there. That's Harrison Barla. That's just coming out of the cutting. He's got the window wipers on. What's happened here? Oh, that's a fair old whack. Oh, that was in sympathy as well. That was the Ferrari. Who was that? Was that... not too sure. Oh, it's a Honda coming through. And Bala able to get going again. And yeah, big crash there. Set off the windscreen wipers. Lockie Andrews and Greg Brock, they swap positions, so Brock takes away P33 there. Oh, that's Liam Curran with a big dive down the inside. That's Webley coming through as well. So where did he filter out? Webley. Oh man, he's down there in 38th right now. So after making that stop, not too sure if that was strategy or he had an issue, but nonetheless, that's where he stands right now. Ethan Cale still looking for a way past Nando Latenzio. And looks like this might be it. It is. So nice work, Ethan Cale. He moves himself now up into P9. Still has that 5-second penalty hanging over his head. So there's a little bit of an anchor that he's hauling along right now until he gets that removed. Vic Chan. I'll rearrange myself here. Still looking for a way past Phil Antoon. So they go up through Griffins. The wall's always so close throughout this entire circuit. Makes it a challenge for anyone, any skill level. These guys are putting on a great display right now. Antoon has been able to keep Vic Chan at bay. That's no easy task. And the lap times have been so close to one another as well. So nothing in it between these two. Very evenly matched and putting on a great display of some high quality driving right now. As I feel like the race has just started to settle down after 40 minutes. Feels like we're just starting to get into a bit of a rhythm right now. These are two of the closest cars on circuit. The other one is Connor Hine as well. So he was about 3.5 tenths faster on that previous lap than the car he's chasing. That's Layla Bell. She was in championship contention. Yeah, didn't quite get her qualifying right by the looks of things. She's done a great job though. She started in 28th, so she's up into 15th position. So she's had a good start to this one. Connor Hind as well, obviously we saw earlier on with the coming together with he and Ethan Cale at the chase, which put a massive dent in both these drivers' aspirations to not only win the race but win the championship as well. That box seat is now occupied by Phil Antoon as these two going side by side. Seen plenty of that kind of action throughout the race so far. Might duck over to Chris Cooley very, very shortly. He is making up massive ground on Johnny Eaton. You can see just there. There's Hind and Bell not too far behind. They're just they've got Crab in the middle there. Let's see what Cooley can do as they head up Mountain Straight, ducks out of the draft. He'll have the inside line here for Griffin's Bend and gets it done very nicely. So Chris Cooley takes another scalp, moves up into P12, having a great race so far. We saw him do this at Kyalami a couple of weeks ago. He's repeating the dose. So 2 minute flat, 0.8. What was it? A 2 minute 0.872. 2 minute 0.872. So once again, one of the fastest cars on the track, belonging to the number 69 Aston Martin. Connor Hind is looking to make his way past Layla Bell. She just lost a spot to Chris Cooley, and Hind looking to repeat the dose. Got a few cars nice and close. 3.5 seconds, 3.6. The gap between Koza and Butterworth. Butterworth was about a second faster on that last lap, so perhaps once again traffic is playing a part, but he's still got a 4-second buffer between Koza and Butterworth right now. As Hind pulling out of the draft. Layla Bell not going to give up this position without a fight. She's going to make him earn it. And Layla Bell just running wide there. And just ran out of racetrack. Slams into the wall. So she loses that position as well. A little bit of insult to injury there. This is Ethan Cale. Couldn't see him. He was tucked in under the rear wing of Phillips. As they're heading up Mountain Straight. 4 tenths faster on that previous lap was Cale. So you'd think that you have Phillips well within his sights. Nando Latenzio just dropped off the back of this one at this stage. He might just be happy to circulate in P10 for now, as we're got nearly 45 minutes in, so we'll be at the hour mark, not too far away. We go on board with Kale. Looks like Chan and Antoon extremely close as well. Let's get back to Kale and Phillips. We've seen that episode a few times with Antoon and Chan. That's Mac Power again being the third wheel, as Kale able to get past Phillips and get that position done. So Ethan Kale now moves back up into P8. I'm not too sure if you can hear it, but it is pouring down rain outside right now where I am. This is Jake Green facing the wrong way up the S's across the top of the mountain. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, bang. We catch the last end of it. That is very, very awkward. Not too sure how this is going to end. Yeah, he's done a good job there to just get out of the way of any potential harm and ruining anyone's race there. And back to the live images. So Latanzio, Phillips and Kale all tucked in together, 8th, 9th and 10th. And then Connor Hind looking to get past Crab, who Hind was a second faster on that previous lap. See if he's able to make the move into Griffins. Not on this occasion. He'll have to pick his moment somewhere else. At this stage, 3/10 the difference between Antoon and Chan. Keeping my eye close on that. 4.5 seconds the gap between Koza and Butterworth. Phil Antoon 4.2 seconds behind those two. As Hind, Connor Hind. Looks like a man who doesn't have much patience right now, and rightfully so. Started this race from P5, currently finds himself P15, not what he would have been hoping for at the start of this one. Ethan Kale, 3 seconds off the back of Matthew Herod in the Porsche. He did lap 1.7 seconds faster on that last lap. So, no he didn't. Kale lapped 6/10 slower. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong times. There's Hind looking to get past Crab here through the chase and gets it done. So nice work from Connor Hind. He regathers up into 14th. Vic Chan once again super close to the rear of Phil Antoon. Still just can't quite work his way past. Last lap around, there was only 2/100ths of a second separating them. And once again, been a great display of driving from these two to keep pumping in fast lap times, but still keeping it off the walls and also fighting with each other at the same time. No easy feat. So two real class drivers going at it, Phil Antoon and Vic Chan. Got plenty of experience commentating on Vic Chan's races as well. Good to see him. Haven't done so for quite a while, so this is a bit of a treat for me. But Phil Antoon has been class as well. He's a championship contender right now. He's in the box seat. And the gap has out in front between Koza and Butterworth has opened up again. It's at 6 seconds now. So I think Koza was just clearing some traffic. Butterworth might be contending with that traffic right now, which is just opening up that gap between he and Jamie Koza in P1. What about Louis van der Venter? He's putting the move here on Mike Crick. got, that's Grigg behind them, but that's not fourth position. I think Greg Brock might have made his way past Green as well. So he is now in P31 as Louis van der Venter. Tucked in behind rear wing of the Honda. Got a little bit of work to do. He was lapping about 9/10 slower on that last lap. As we go back to a very, very familiar scene here. Big Chan having a look around the outside now into Griffin's Bend. They got a little bit of lap traffic up ahead as well, so Vic Chan might see that as his opportunity. But I reckon Phil Antoon is certainly up to it. Skinny Luke there in the chat just commenting on some very... Oh, that's Louis van der Venter. Just trying to get on it here. Oh, what's happened, Louis? I'm just catching it right at the end. My apologies. I know that he's put a lot of time and effort into practicing for this one, and this is not how he would like his race to be panning out right now at almost the halfway mark. So we go back to live images right now. There we go. And Liam Curran has taken a position from Aaron O'Brien, who's made his way into the pits. And between Chan and Antoon squabbling, it's allowed Pickford now to just move his way up and enter himself into the fray. So this is a three-way battle for third between Antoon, Chan and Pickford. Well, Butterworth is about 5 seconds up ahead, up the road from these guys. So he's insulated from this. He's got his work cut out for him trying to catch Jamie Koza, who lapped in a 2:01.8 that last lap around. Give you a bit of an idea, Chris Coolidge at a 2:09.62. So he continues to lap in the low 2-minute flat. As I thought I could hear tyre screeching there. And we're going to see a very familiar battle unfold in front of us here. Be interesting to see when we're going to get pit stops as well. We're not too far away from the halfway mark. Usually when we've seen it, it's obviously going to open up some opportunities. Pickford just scraping the wall there. I always want to make sure you just gather it back up before you approach this section down through the S's. We've seen plenty of cars come unstuck. You didn't want to join the list. Here's Ethan Kale. Oh, that's Herod just touching the wall as well. So Kale still has that 5-second penalty against his name, as does Bell, Johnson and Marsh. We'll need to serve them at some stage. Let's see if the Lamborghini... come on, man. There we go. What the Lamborghini's got? Down Conrod. 286 is his top speed. And a pretty good illustration of that, I thought, was going to be Ethan Kale taking position away, because Herod, his top speed's 281. Porsche not necessarily known for its speed. In this case, though, has proved us all wrong. Well, me wrong anyway. And he remains in P7 there, holding off Ethan Kale. Trying to regroup after the early incident with Connor Hind. 5-second penalty for 52. So that's another one. So that's his second 5-second penalty. So he has now 10 seconds against his name. I'm not too sure what exactly that is for. But it just came through now. He is now up to 10 seconds worth of penalties as Layla Bell, she made a move past Crab. Let's go and have a look here. Down the front straight. And she's just going to send it down the inside. And nice work. So she moves up into 15th position as we go back to live pitches. How about Latenzio? He's got Phillips just up ahead of him. Vinny Canero in the pits. And Connor Hind. 5-second penalty for car number 99. Car number 99. That's Louis Van de Venter. Maybe that had something to do. Car 520 gets a 5-second penalty as well. So a few penalties coming through here as we approach the halfway mark. Car 520. That's Johnson. He's down there in 17th position in the McLaren as Hind. Car 604 gets a 5-second penalty. So maybe this is race control just catching up on a few incidents. That's Foster. And car number 55 gets a 5-second penalty as Hind making his way past. So he moves up a spot into 13th. Car 55 is Chris Boswick down there in 44th and 705. That's Connor Hind. He gets a 5-second penalty. So he's got 15 seconds next to his name. So once again, the two championship contenders, Connor Hind and Ethan Cale, both have both had a coming together. And now have got substantial penalties next to their name. Ethan Cale with 10 seconds. Connor Hind with 15 seconds. So the luck continues to fall the way of Phil Antoon, who's now 1.4 second gap ahead of Vic Chan. So he's able to just stretch that gap out ever so slightly. We're watching Chris Cooley. As that's who is that? I'm not sure. Oh, that was Phillips into the wall and Cooley through. So he moves his way up into P9. Is this going to be a last to finish, last to first effort from Ethan Cale? He's on track for it right now. His last lap though at 2:02. Sorry, for Cooley, Chris Cooley, 2:02.7 that last lap. So his charge continues on. James McCauley gets past Crick, who I think was just coming out of the pits. Just scanning through the field. Still a substantial amount of cars. We've got 44, in fact, still circulating. Back to Cale and Herod. Here we go. So Vic Chan, he has come into the pits. And Pickford not yet at the halfway mark. Very, very interesting here. So maybe those Bentleys a little bit thirstier than the other cars in the field. Ethan Cale, a Lamborghini, so he puts my theory out the window. I think that was Louis Van de Venter just having a bit of an issue there through the chase. It was. Back to John Zhu, down there in 24th. He started 8th. And he would have been thinking, I'm a shot at this at the beginning of the race. And we've got quite a busy pit lane right now because here comes Latenzio, Phillips, Eaton, Cale are all in there. What's happened to James McCauley? That's facing the wrong way. Oh dear. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, he's just lost it there, coming down the S's. And facing the wrong way. This is where we picked him up, wasn't it? We'll get back to live action in a moment. There we go. Oh, he's still facing the wrong way right now. He's got a bunch of cars too coming through. He could be stuck here for a little while. Doing the right thing though. Might have a quick little break in the traffic, but that's a very, very awkward place. It's almost 3-point turn territory there. That's that's Hind coming through there as well. None of the leaders are here, and he's got a heap of cars that are going to have to pass. Look at that. So he's got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about another 6 cars is still to go. You can see that's from one angle. This is from the other. Alright, he might have a chance now. Good driving there from James McCauley. He had to sit there very patiently. Connor Hind. He's got Carter just up ahead of him in the 559 Lamborghini. McFryboy too might be trying for the undercut. Yeah, I agree, but not yet making it to the halfway mark. Might make it interesting late in this race. Mark Stevens there, just having some issues with the final turn, or maybe just doing his best to get out of the way there. So Chan, Pickford, and who was with him? It was Antoon has continued on. So he's there in P3. Johnson making his way into the pits. So we get back to Hind and Carter. Alright. So where's the first of the pit stops? Chan and Pickford in 11th and 12th. The highest cars that have made a scheduled stop so far. Johnson's in there, Newman and McCauley, as well as Finton and Bosick. I think they might be permanent residents there somehow. And then we're over the halfway mark now as well. And this man here, he's in P8. He has 15 seconds worth of time penalties next to his name. I was going to say, because he was able to stretch that Ferrari further than anyone else in Kyalami. And being in P8, I thought, this might be good, but unfortunately 15 seconds next to your name might not be the case. We'll wait and see though. Ethan Cale, has he served his penalty? He has. He's dropped out into P15. He's 17 seconds behind Moss, who does still need to pit, as does Braithfield ahead of him. As Hind going around the outside and gets it done. So Connor Hind moves up into P7. Phil Antoon is in the pits. How long has he been in there for? 28 seconds. Vic Chan was a minute in total. Where is he? He's just coming through the chase. Phil Antoon's probably got about another 20 seconds from now left in the pit lane. This could be quite close. He's at 48, 49, 50. And he's leaving the pit lane. This is going to be pretty tight. Had a little bit of traffic getting out, did Antoon. Here he goes. And this is a great camera angle because we're going to see Vic Chan. Vic Chan gets it done. So, who was that? McFryboy too? You called it. Nice work. Vic Chan has finally gotten past the BMW of Phil Antoon, and now he occupies P10. Antoon 11th. Plenty of cars up ahead still need to make their pit stop, so that will sort itself out. But Vic Chan in a very, very strong position right now, as is Phil Antoon. He's in a championship winning position and very close to getting his hands on $300 of cold hard cash. Just in time for Christmas as well. Perfect. Jake Green. He's got Greg Brock just up ahead of him. Oh, and Hind. Oh, no. What's happened, Connor Hind? Have a look on the replay. Oh, yeah. Bang. Oh, that's a huge hit from him. So, that, whatever chances he had left of potentially pulling off a miracle, have just been given their last rites, and that is his race done. Sorry to cut away from this, but Koza and Butterworth are both in the pits, first and second. About a minute is the par time right now. Koza got in there about 7 or 8 seconds earlier. Who was the other one? So Vic Chan is making his way past. He's putting his hazard lights on. Koza is underway. Chan coming through. Butterworth is still stationary. Oh no, Butterworth! What happened? Is this a mishap in the pits? I think it might be. And Vic Chan, this is going to be super tight once again. Can he make up a position under pit stop conditions? And he does. Vic Chan on fire right now. Matthew Herod. What's happened, Matthew Herod? Is that a disconnect? I think it is. Or it's a very dodgy internet connection, whatever it is. But the big news here is Vic Chan has managed to get past Butterworth, who I think might have had a bit of a mishap there in the pits. A minute 5 in total, stopped for 38 seconds compared to 32 seconds of Chan and Koza. So Chan and Koza had the same exact pit time, 32 stopped, 1 minute in total. Butterworth was stopped for 38 seconds, so a minute 5 in total. Antoon stopped for 34 seconds, a minute 1 in total. Pickford 35 seconds, a minute 03. So all very, very close to one another, but pretty much this man here, Jamie Koza, is leading the way. Vic Chan in P2. Butterworth in 3rd, and 4th is Phil Antoon. They're obviously occupying positions 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, with Herod, Cooley and Niperez all ahead still to pit. And we are on the home straight now. Well, not the home straight, we've got less to go than what we've already done, as Chris Cooley and Herod both making their stops. So they're going to pit from the lead here. This has been an important stop for Chris Cooley, who is definitely in contention at this stage. Jamie Koza, he's about to come through Murray's corner, so he will retake... No, he won't retake the lead because Matt Niperez is actually in the lead as Cooley makes his stop. Bang, hits his marks. Herod is in there as well. And Matt Niperez, where are you? There he is. He is in the lead, but not by much because Jamie Koza was not too far behind, as Butterworth and Antoon slip through, as does Pickford. Chris Cooley still in there. Kurt Moss coming through. He has not stopped yet. So the cars that have stopped that are a threat to Cooley right now is this man here, Ethan Cale, and Chris Cooley drops. Here comes Cale. This could be relatively tight. Wait and see. I think Cooley's still going to have a decent gap. There we go. You can see there's Herod as well, and that's Bracefield. That's not for position. There was Cale in the background. So Herod in between Cooley and Cale right now. And Phil Antoon, he is currently in P5, half a second behind Isaac Butterworth. And this is set up for a fantastic finish. Track is in fantastic conditions. 24 degrees track, 17 degrees air temperature. Track's at optimum. We're at 1:28 p.m. There's a time multiplier of 6. So we'll finish with a little bit of a setting sun as Crick has moved up a spot. And that's Phillips, 1.1 seconds behind Eaton. So who are the drivers that he get to pit? Matt Niperez, he's in the lead of this one. We should show him on the screen. Here he is. So that was Zoo there in pitting from P18. Here's our race leader, Matt Niperez. That lovely FW26-esque livery as Koza comes through. Retakes the lead of this one. Vic Chan will do the same in one moment. He moves through. Isaac Butterworth will be the next one. Then Phil Antoon. Then Pickford. So I would imagine Niperez, another 30 seconds. He's probably going to come out around about sort of P12. Around about anywhere between 11th and 13th, I would say, at this stage. As the Audi there had their wiper on momentarily. What's happened to Vinny Caniero? Oh no, he's come undone across the top of the mountain. Don't Definitely not the first one we've seen do that this evening. Won't be the last, I would imagine. See how this came about. Is that the Ferrari of Johnny? Yeah, I think that's Greg Brock up ahead. Oh, back just turned around on him and away he went. So we go back to live images. Phil Antoon has got his work cut out for him now. Needs to get past Butterworth at some stage between now and the next 51 minutes, the conclusion of this one. Where is Connor Hind? He's down there in 24th. He's cleared his stop. There he is. He's all good. So he's going to race to the end. But his championship aspirations may be done and dusted. Unfortunate for him. This man here, Ethan Cale, he's still got a chance. The difference between he and Phil Antoon. So first of all, it's a 3-point difference. No, it's only a 2-point difference between Cale and Antoon. Right now, Phil Antoon sitting in 4th position. He is around about 20 or 30 odd seconds, 34 seconds roughly between Antoon and Cale right now. Antoon occupying 4th, Cale in 9th. So it's going to take a fair effort for Ethan Cale. And he's got less than 50 minutes to do so. This has been a good race. This has been good fun. Connor Hind. That's it. He's done. Yep, can't blame him. This is Latanzio. He's all over the back of Crab. They're in 14th and 15th. Both these cars have made their stops. Heading down Conrod Straight. Nice work from Latanzio. Can he finish this move off? Hard under brakes. Good driving from both those drivers. Fernando Latanzio moves up into 14th position. Where did he start? He started in 14th, so here's where he started. Which is not too bad considering we're a field of 44 right now. Started with 49. And Cale now chasing former race leader Matt Niperez in the BMW. So now that the pit stops have all shaken out, there's Jamie Koza leading this one. He has a 9-second gap over he and Vic Chan. Isaac Butterworth sitting there in 3rd position. That's our podium right now. Butterworth is 1.8 seconds behind Chan. 4th is Phil Antoon, 2.1 seconds behind Butterworth. Pickford 4.5 seconds behind Antoon. And then Chris Cooley now 24 seconds behind Pickford in 6th position. But keeping in mind, he started in 46th spot. So he's moved up 40. Car, 5-second penalty, 117. That is Crab. So he gets a penalty next to his name. Seen plenty of those dished out today. As you'd expect at a track like Bathurst. This is Cale all at the back of Niperez into the chase. I think that's kind of where we got to. Yeah, Herod, Niperez, Cale and Carter. That's your top 10 right now. Biggest mover in the field, biggest riser is Chris Cooley, up 40 spots. In terms of the biggest faller, it's not Green, but he's facing the wrong way. That's at the S's. Oh, and he gets a little one for his for good measure there. I think that was Mac Power possibly. Let's see what happened. That's Marsh ahead of him. Oh, he's just clipped the wall on the entry. I've seen a few drivers do that already today. And then facing the wrong way. And then watch this. Oh, bang. Just a little clip. Alright. So, we're talking about the largest fallers. Is unfortunately Connor Hind. He's lost 27 spots down there in 32nd. So he's had a bit of a disaster for this one. Kale now working on the rear of the BMW, Matt Niperez. And Latenzio is another one who's pretty close as well. He's got Layla Bell. She started in P14. She's moved up one spot since the beginning. And I think pretty much everyone has pitted already. So got all the pit stops done. It's just going to be a straight run to the end. Is everyone going to be able to get there on fuel? That's going to be the big question. Who pitted earlier? So Vic Chan, he pitted 6 minutes earlier than Jamie Koza, and Pickford pitted with him as well. So they're the two that have pitted the earliest. The person that pitted the latest is Herod and Cooley. So keep an eye out for them, as well as Matt Niperez. But Cooley's going to be the dark horse here. He's going to be the one to keep an eye on, as Cooley still looking for a way past the BMW, the 116. Last lap around, Niperez did a 2:02.460. Kale did a 5:60. So a 10th in it between these two for the pace. I thought that was Niperez flashing his lights, but it wasn't. He's just got his lights on. So as did Bracefield as well, down there in 22nd. So go on board with Matt Niperez. I wanted to get to this camera. Here it is. There's a good little battle going on. That's Louis Vendaventa. Maybe that's why Niperez turned on the lights, and Vendaventa doing a good job there, getting out of the way of the fast guys. That was the Mercedes just scraping the wall. That was that Hignett? I think it might have. Oh no, what's happened here? I thought it was a purple Mercedes. Oh, and I've gotten to it too late. So this is Hignett down in 40th position. Where is that? Oh, that's just. Oh, that's where. Remember, that's where James Mack was as well, but not as an awkward position as James McCauley. I should say, not James Mack. Let's get back to live action, and we'll have a look at John Zhu down there in 21st. He started the race in 8th, so he's dropped 13 positions from the time we started, and sending a nice move up the inside, and gets the job done. So nice work from John Zhu, and that is O'Brien getting the job done. No, that wasn't O'Brien. That was O'Brien who overtook in the Aston Martin. My apologies. Back to the battle of 8th and 9th. Niperez and Kale. This is turning out to be a good little scrap between these two. That little bunch of cars that we were just looking at. Nando Latenzio and Layla Bell into the chase here. Latenzio looking to grab another spot. He started in 14th position. That's where he's occupying right now. And Kale still continues to chip away at the rear of Niperez. These are the closest battles we've got. 3 cars in the pits. Robbins, Finton and Bozic. I think Finton and Bozic are not participating any longer. And Robbins has been in the pits now for just over a minute. And then he's underway again. So in the KISS entry. Latenzio and Bell, they've got Crab just tucked in behind them. He does have a 5-second penalty against his name though, so it's going to put him out of contention with these two once he serves that. He'll do the best that he can in the meantime. Gap out in front. This is not the battle out in front. This is the battle between Kale and Niperez. Jamie Koza, 7.6 seconds. I think it was at 9 seconds at one stage, so he might have been contending with a little bit of traffic on the previous lap. So it's now drifting back out to 7.5 between he and Vic Chan. As Cale will last lap around these two identical times, 2:02.177. Identical lap times from Matt Niperez and Ethan Cale on that last lap. So cannot separate them at all, which I'm sure Cale would find extremely frustrating. And Niperez quite satisfying. Where did he start? Matt Niperez started 13th, so currently up 5 spots from where he started, holding his own, doing a great job out there in the 116 BMW. Someone else that is doing a great job, and we've barely seen him on the screen today, is Jamie Koza. And I think an hour and 20 minutes into this race, I think he deserves a lap on board. So I'm just going to be quiet for a lap, and let's check out how Jamie Koza is going. There's a lap with Jamie Koza. That was a 2:01.110. Still a rapid time for this stage of the race. Looks like Latenzio was able to get past Bell in the end, so he moves up into 13th. Bell still 14th, Crab 15th. And then we've got Ethan Cale still behind the BMW of Matt Niperez. Louis van der Venter, he's in the pits right now, making a stop. Might be to repair that damage. I think he'll need to serve that penalty as well while he's in there. As we'll stick with this scrap, which has been great from these two. Nothing in it in terms of pace. So, the 116 BMW able to hold his own. As we've gone 3/4 of the race completed. Almost 3/4 of the race completed, not too far away. What about Crab and Bell? Oh, Vinny Canero. Very odd to see him making mistakes around here after the ATR 1000, where he and his teammate, was it O'Brien, I think? Dominating win from those guys, and yeah, okay. Let's go back to live action. What happened to Liam Curran? sure if he had a little incident there. That's not for position. That's Phil Antoon, in fact. What's going on here? So Phil Antoon just making his way past. I think that yellow flag was Curran just trying to get out of the way to let the faster traffic through. So good driving there from Liam Curran, who is down there in 19th position right now. And another scrap going on. Layla Bell, Latanzio and Crab just trying to alternate, catch all of the on-track action going on. Once the dust has settled from all the pit stops. So Cooley in 6th position. So he's 24 seconds behind Pickford. He's 41 seconds off the lead. He is lapping. He lapped a 2:01.115 on that previous lap. Pickford was a 2:01.712, so 6/10 faster. The leaders, Koza did a 2:03.2, but we saw him do a 2:01.1. So I wonder if the charge from Cooley is kind of just stalled here at 6th, which is kind of what we saw last time out at Kyalami, where he started at the rear of the field and was able to work his way up. Might just potentially be this is the ceiling, possibly. Cutler, there you go. Thanks, Gino. It was Cutler. Sorry. There we go. First name. If you got a first name, I can mention that as well. But yeah, he got into the chat as well afterwards. So. So Bell and these are the closest cars on circuit. Everyone else is pretty well spread out. Oh no, we've got another couple of scraps going on. Webley, after a great start, he was running up there in the top 5 earlier on. He's down in 36. He's in the pits right now. He's been in there for a minute, so that looks like it's a planned stop. As we're watching Macaulay and Van Deventer, who was recently in the pits, and James Macaulay in the Red Rebel Racing entry gets past, moves up into 32nd position. What about Lockie Andrews? He's only half a second behind Shane Robbins in the 666 BMW. There it is in the foreground. Get a better shot of it right there. No uncertainty who his favourite band is. They were out here not so long ago, weren't they? Kiss played at the AFL Grand Final. Alright, so Koza still holds a 7.4 second gap over Chan. There's about a 10th the difference in the last lap between them. Alright, I'll get away from this battle because Crab and Bell are going at it right now at the chase. And Connor Hind, to his credit, he's back out there. So, well done to Connor Hind. He could have easily just decided, nah, I'm out of here, I'm done. But he's continuing to circulate down there in 35th. So, a acknowledgement there from Connor Hind, what he's doing right now. So Kale, 1.1 seconds. Yeah, Layla Bell and Latanzio. Yeah, once again, the closest scrap. We're almost at the 3/4 way mark. Approaching the final half an hour of this one. Hope the officials have a good luck under the hood of the Aperture Science entry. Yeah, right. From Milko Pilko. I like that name, Milko Pilko. That's a good one. Yeah, alright, the Aperture Science. I can't remember who that is exactly. So this is Bell. That's Hind behind her. He's out there just circulating. What time are we at? 3:36 p.m. So this is not for position. This is just Hind circulating. Still racing, as he's more than entitled to do. And he moves past Layla Bell. That's Stephen Phillips. He's closing the gap here on Johnny Eaton. So Eaton started 21st. So he's moved up 10 spots and Phillips up 6. So good work from both of these guys. A very satisfying evening so far, as we are not too far away from beginning the final 30 minutes of this one. Race number 3. Round number 3, the final round. And as it sits so far, I don't have a calculator with me. Phil Antoon is on track to take this out. He is sitting in P4, which would give him 47 points. And he was 3 points behind Ethan Cale, who is on track to get 42 points. So, which would put Phil Antoon. Oh, hang on, he was 3 points. So he was 3 points behind Connor Hind, and he was 2 points behind. Yeah, so he needs another 3 points. So Cale, if it was to end right now, Cale is in 9th. He gets 42. And Antoon would get 47, so a 5-point differential, which would put Phil Antoon as the winner in the championship. Ethan Cale still has plenty to race for as well, because he was holding off John Zhu, who is down there in P20, so he's out of it. Nando Latenzio is in 13th position right now. Layla Bell and Latenzio. So yeah, Ethan Cale has probably got second in the championship sewn up. John Zhu could possibly finish. I think he could finish 3rd in the championship. John Zhu and Layla Bell. Yeah, she's on for some good points here as well. So, EXO cheering on the man with the livery, the KISS livery. That's Shane Robbins down there in 29th. Yeah, so obviously it all needs to be made official, but from experience, it all gets done pretty hastily and everyone gets things sorted out. So you'll see it all in the Discord at a later stage. In the meantime, we're watching Simon Phillips, and the reason we're watching him is because these are the 2 closest cars on track. Chris Cooley, gap between he and Pickford is at 23 seconds. Pickford last lap around 201.9. Cooley did a 201 flat. So with only 27 minutes remaining, that's about 13 or 14 laps. Yeah, 6 is looking like it's where he is going to be, where he's going to land. Still, what a charge though from Chris Cooley, up 40 spots from 46th position to where he is now. So awesome effort from him. Out in front, it's Jamie Koza still leading. His last lap was a 2:01. Who was that going off the track there? That's not Cale, I don't think. It was Carter. I think it was John Carter. It is. As Eaton trying to get past right now. Going up the inside of Hal Corner. And nice work there from Eaton. He's going to take a spot. Phillips is going to want to get a piece of this as well as they head up Mountain Straight. You see there, Phillips looking for a way past. So they go up the hill into the right-hander. Griffins. This is nice racing here for 10th, 11th and 12th. So there's a top 10 finish on the line for these guys. Eaton's up 11 spots from where he started. Carter 8 and Phillips 6. So they've all made really, really good progress. And right now, Johnny Eaton occupies P10, which it always sounds better when you finish 10th rather than 11th or 12th. And you say, yeah, mate, finish top 10th. Kid Buys is in the chat as well. Hello to everyone in the chat too. Everyone's been pretty good all night. 25 minutes left of this one. That's Mark Stevens with some damage on that Ferrari. But we're watching a nice little battle right here. Move the camera away. There we go. Yeah, Carter, Phillips. Sorry, Eaton, Carter and Phillips. Board with Carter, sorry. Sounds like he just had to lift ever so slightly. Eaton struggling with traction. I'm struggling with my words right now. As we're looking back at Phillips. Kale is still behind Matt Niperez. Last lap around, Niperez a 2:02.7 as Phillips. He's going to send it. They're going to be a drag race up the Mountain Straight. Yeah, so, Kale, 6/10 now. He's sitting at 9/10 moments ago. So I'll try and catch that one as well. But he's been tucked under the rear wing of the 116 for a little while now. I would be thinking he's been feeling a little bit frustrated, but at this stage, he's looking good to solidify P2 in the championship. So that's still $150 in the pocket. Nothing to be sneezed at. Maybe we can put it towards some shopping, some Black Friday remnants. What do we got? Cyber Monday coming up. Capitalism, don't you just love it? It's so good, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Perez and Herod. So Herod must have made he's made a little mistake. What's happened here? Let's have a look. So here's both of them. Where's Herod? Oh, Herod's got caught up with Zoo, and that has opened it up. And that's a lap car as well. So Zoo is down there in 20th, and in the meantime, Pickford's got a yellow flag next to his name. Oh no, that's at the cutting. There is a whole gaggle of. Oh no, Cooley is coming up next. This is really, really awkward. That's Mac Power. There's Chris Cooley. Oh dear. That is good job from Pickford. Oh no, Jamie Koza. What is is this a safety car? Is this a safety car? Vic Chan is slowing down. I think this must be a safety car. Alright, because that was pretty dicey there at the chase. And yeah, we've gone under yellow flag conditions. So it is a safety car. That's a good call by the stewards. They were on it right then. Whew, this is going to make the last 20 minutes very, very interesting. This is going to be good stuff. This is going to bunch the field right up. Jamie Koza had a very, very comfortable lead over Vic Chan. Isaac Butterworth as well. So this resets the whole thing. this brings people like Chris Cooley into contention big time. So this right, we are going to have pretty much a 20-minute sprint. Who is that? Who is that McLaren there? They're making their way into the pits. It wasn't Macaulay. It wasn't Power. Was it Finton? No, it wasn't. Finton's been in there for ages. Nonetheless. All right. Well, this is going to spice things up. We're going to go to another level right now. Where's Ethan Cale? He's in 8th position. So he'll be very, very happy for this safety car. And yeah, we are going to have an awesome, awesome end to this. So good that I had to say it twice. So it looks like we're still under safety car conditions. Probably one lap of this, maybe two. Not too sure what the call is. Probably check the Discord, eh? Well, why would they post it in Discord, Nick? Because everyone's driving. There is a race comms as well that everyone else is in. Alright, so we're going to fly blind a little bit, but you know, it's okay. So there's the 117, that's Crab. So this is the last of the train, if you like. They're still going at a fair clip. So they're going to do their best to try and catch up. Bell, Latenzio, Phillips. So it is an extremely long lap, 6 kilometre lap in fact, 6.2. So adds plenty of time to try and catch up. Now, the other ones, Aaron O'Brien, who else? Paulie. Yeah, so they're all down at Forest Elbow. That's Greg Brock in there too. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do, if they're going to want to get the pack completely bunched up or just the main part of it. We'll have to wait and see. But this is resetting the field essentially and condensing a 2-hour enduro into basically what will work out to be probably just over a 15-minute sprint to the end. So all that hard work that Jamie Kozer had done to get himself into the lead, had a very comfortable buffer, now finds himself in a very, very tricky spot. Although this is exactly where you want to be amongst everyone at the front. Now, who is that behind him? Car number 42. That's Tony French. So he's classified as running 34th right now. So either he's going to have to get permission from the stewards to unlap himself, or once we go racing again, he's just going to have to pull to the left and let everyone by. That's going to be a very awkward position that he's in, because he's in P2 on the track. But yeah, where he's classified is 34th. So will we go racing at the end of this lap? Still cars. Still some stragglers. 112, that's Jake Green in the Pub Boys entry. He is currently says 28th on my screen, says 27th on the game, but nonetheless. Oh, here we go. So they are unlapping themselves. This is really, really good stewarding, you know. Maybe they have a flair for the dramatic as well, calling the late race safety car. But I think it was definitely, by the time Pickford sort of like, it was potentially a massive hazard. So what are we doing? That's a Ferrari. That is that Newman? No. Is it Marsh? It is. That's Louis Van de Venter. So some more cars just. Yeah, Van de Venter, that's James Macaulay, that's Canero, that's Zoo. I wonder why Marsh isn't going. Maybe he's not in the chat. That is Foster making his way through. So Marsh is 25th, classified. Definitely going to have another lap. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is someone going to make their way into the pits? This is Mark Stevens. He's 38th. Man, I'm keeping an eye on this guy right here, Chris Cooley. Whew. That's a whole gaggle of cars getting their way past. So 16 and a half minutes left. Looks like the stewards have decided they want to get everyone in the right positions. This could take another 2 laps. We could possibly be looking at a 10-minute sprint to the end here, because everyone's sort of all over the joint at the moment. As these guys going up Mountain Straight, the last car sort of at the end of the chain are just making their way up through Griffin's Bend. So they're going to have to get a move on. That's kind of Hind as well. He'll have no trouble getting some pace. And then we've got 4 cars in the pit. Stevens, Hignett, Finton and Boswick. Those last 2 have been in there for a fair while, but we didn't see anyone else coming in for pits. And it's also good for drivers like what has happened there? So trying to get back to the main pack, and this is Robbins. Oh, bang into the wall, and that was a pretty solid hit as well. So the 666 doing its best to get back with the pack, and unfortunately that was the result. So an hour and 45 into the 2-hour race, and under safety car conditions has come unstuck. So an unfortunate end there for the KISS car. What else do we have here? So yeah, so I was getting at, so this is great for drivers like Chan, Pickford, who sparked this whole thing, and Ethan Cale as well, because they all pitted earlier than everyone else. Eaton too, and then Cooley is the one on the freshest rubber by about 10 minutes roughly. Butterworth will have fresh rubber too. So Phil Antoon in there, he pitted 43 minutes ago. Whew. Alright, well you can see on the track map there on the right hand side where it sits. We're probably going to go one more lap under safety car conditions, I would think, which is really going to spice this up. We're going to have about a 10 to 12 minute sprint to the end. Keep an eye on this man right here, Chris Cooley. What has he got? Ethan Cale will certainly have championship aspirations. We've seen so much action across the top of the mountain through the S's as well. So the old saying in motorsport, safety cars breed safety cars. These guys are right at the end of the race. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. We jumped in the server at 6, so that's at least 3 hours, plus the prior time, plus the hangover you might be nursing from the night before. You might have worked today, so that physical part of it is certainly going to come into it at this stage, as well as just the mental application and concentration that you need around a track like this, in particular across the top of the mountain. And it looks like we're back racing, so a very smart call there by the stewards, allowing the maximum amount of time for racing. And Jamie Koza leading them away. Vic Chan giving chase. Butterworth, Antoon, Cooley, Pickford, Aaes Niperez, Cale still can't get past. But it's been a pretty good restart here. All nice and orderly as they head up Mountain Straight for the first time post the safety car. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap there between Karan and Zoo in 18th position. So we've got basically the front 17 cars as Michael Pickford getting his way past Matt Niperez as they head up towards the cutting. Ethan Cale, unfortunate for him, he can't get past. This is where the scene of the accident where this all kicked off. And it's been a very, very orderly restart. Jamie Coase has already opened up a 1.2 second gap over Vic Chan. Butterworth in third. Not too sure if he might have just scraped the wall there. Phil Antoon in fourth. Cooley in fifth. Pickford sixth. Here's Niperez as well, all over the back of the Bentley. They go down through the S's for the first time post the restart. Let's see how everyone is able to filter through here. All wind their way down the mountain. Green looks like he's dropped a spot. Lockie Andrews is got a yellow flag next to his name. I think he's just getting out of the way. Everyone, good driving to Lockie Andrews. That was Connor Hind just sneaking through there as well in the Bogues entry. So Koza has already opened up a 1.6 gap over Vic Chan, the man we see on screen here. He's being chased by Isaac Butterworth. So this is for second and third positions. This is a podium spot up for grabs. Chris Cooley, he's going to be hounding Phil Antoon all the way to the end. We've got 11 minutes left in this one. Safety car restart has gone off without a hitch. Great call by the stewards to get all this organised. It was a good call for the safety car, and it was a good call to restart it. So credit where credit's due. That's Kurt Moss going down the inside of Crab, and that's Liam Curran in there as well. And out the back there in the Ferrari, I think that's Newman. I think as they head up Mountain Straight, 1.9 seconds the gap between Chan and Koza. This is Butterworth. He's occupying third. He's right on the rear of Vic Chan, who's had a great race. He started in P10, so after messing up the first corner of the top 10 shootout, but he's had a great recovery. And Chris Cooley as well, you can see there, he's giving chase to Phil Antoon, sitting in fourth. This is Matt Nipperez. He's got Pickford just up ahead of him. Ethan Cale. This could affect the championship standings as well. So a lot on the line here in the final less than 10 minutes of this one. Round number 3 of 3. The AAES series, the 2-hour enduros. Going to be doing some more endurance racing, some 6 hours coming up in the new year as well. So that's going to be nice and exciting. As Butterworth following Chan. Fastest speed for the McLaren today has been 287 kilometres, 3 kilometres more than the Bentley. I was going to say the Boatley then, of the belonging to Vic Chan. So less than 9 minutes. Letting off a whole bunch of fireworks right now in the pouring rain. Alright, so Butterworth and Chan, apologies for that. I was just wondering if what the hell was going on there. All has stayed the same. Cooley, don't count this man out. 8 minutes remaining. Now he's tucked in behind Phil Antoon. He's going to have to play this smart, but not too smart. Because where it sits right now, as that's the 666 making way, Cooley all over the place right now. He's throwing that Aston Martin down through the S's. Antoon's going to have to soak up this pressure, as he's done for a lot of this race with Vic Chan behind him. So we know he's capable of doing it as the shadows start to lurch further and further across the track. Track conditions now 17 degrees, still at optimum. We're 6 p.m. in game time. Koza once again has opened up a nice buffer, 3.4 seconds the gap. You can see Chan and Butterworth there as well in the foreground. We're getting a 2-for-1 deal. Here's Cooley. Can he go late under brakes? Not quite. So P6 was his ceiling before. He's battling it out right now for P4 as Herod and Cale make contact. So Herod able to keep it facing the right way, capture that back up again. Back to this battle here between Cooley and Antoon. Less than 7 minutes remaining. He's essentially the championship leader as of right now. As they head up Mountain Straight again, they've done 53 laps. so far. And Butterworth all over the back of Vic Chan. You can see Koza just momentarily. There he is, up through the cutting. Here comes Chan, Butterworth, and Toon 1.5 seconds down the road. What's happened? Kurt Moss, he's getting swamped right now up through Griffin's Bend. So he drops a spot. He's down in 14th position. He's got Layla Bell. She's got championship repercussions from all of this as well. She's sitting in 15th. Every position's valuable for her right now. We've got less than 6 minutes left. The clock is continuing to count. And Vic Chan soaking up the pressure from behind. Jamie Koza having the clear track. Oh, that's a big hit from Butterworth. That was huge. That was a massive collision with the wall. Let's go back on the replay and just pick it up. We'll go on board with him. Coming down through the S's. We've seen plenty of cars make mistakes through here, and then just a little clip, and that was enough. He kept his foot into it as well. And as we go back to live images right now, and there he is limping down. Conrod straight, and Cooley takes Antoon. So Chris Cooley is now on the podium. Let's see how that came about as we go on board with him here. Gets into the draft. The BMW's been fast down the straights all day, but unfortunately not fast enough, where Chris Cooley from 46th to 3rd. Only 10-15 minutes ago, 6th was the best he was going to do for today. He's on the podium right now. He's 1.7 seconds behind Vic Chan. We've got 4.5 minutes left. Chris Cooley, can he take P2? It's going to be a pretty tough ask with Vic Chan 1.8 seconds up the road, but a podium is an absolutely phenomenal job. We'll have a look at this pack here, all the way from 6th down to around about 12th. We're all filtering down through Mountain Straight, up through Griffin's Bend, the right-hander. Verging on 4 minutes left in this one. Ethan Cale, he's in 7th. Antoon is in 4th. That could have big championship repercussions here, because the Antoon was 2 points behind Ethan Cale coming into this one, and there's only three spots separating them right now. Ethan Cale could still take out this championship win. He's got Nipperez and Pitford. Feels like he's had Nipperez in front of him forever in this race. But right now, it's 3.5 minutes left. Koza, 4.9 seconds down the road. 5 seconds, in fact, from Vic Chan. So he's leading comfortably at this stage. He's in the box seat to take out the victory. Chris Cooley sitting in 3rd. He's 1.6 seconds behind Vic Chan. And then you've got Antoon giving chase to Cooley, who he just lost a position to on the previous lap. So he's on the back foot right now. Pickford, he's 6.6 seconds behind that group in front. So he's got Nipperez chasing. Cale, Eaton, Carter, Latenzio, Phillips. They're all filtering through. Kurt Moss, Layla Bell, Liam Curran, and Crab as well in the BMW. So it's very, very tight from about 6th down to about 15th at the moment. The man we want to keep an eye on is this driver here, Ethan Cale. Still in the hunt for the championship. Phil Antoon is the other one who's in the box seat right now. I think he would win the championship at this stage. 2.5 minutes to go, so we're going to find out very, very soon. Chris Cooley not making any ground on Vic Chan at the moment, so 1.7 seconds the gap between Chan and Cooley. Chan's got this one in hand in terms of P2. Koza's opened up the gap even further. It's at 5.3 seconds now, the difference, so he's got a nice buffer ahead of him. There's going to be no traffic that's going to play a part. Car 78 though, this is Cole, Mitchell Cole. Gear Grind is racing. That's across Skyline, and he is getting underway again, so that could have been fraught with danger. And we're all good though, so we're back we're still underway. This is all good. Antoon 6/10 away from that podium. Chris Cooley, phenomenal effort from him, up 43 positions from where he started. This is Matt Nipperez all over the back of Pickford in P5 right now. Ethan Cale just looking to pounce. If either of these two make the slightest mistake, Ethan Cale is there ready to snap up more valuable positions. Closing up on the rear of the 116. Less than 90 seconds left. So next trip around will be the last one. Koza just coming through the chase now. And he'll have to navigate another couple of turns, and we will get the signal where it will be the final lap. This one going down to the wire. This championship's gone across 6 weeks. One race a fortnight. We started in the wet in Zolder and went to Kyalami. It was a majority of a night race. And now we're here at the iconic Bathurst as Liam Curran taking another position away from Layla Bell. She can't afford to lose any positions at this stage. They'll have massive repercussions. Oh, she hits Curran as well, just coming out of the final turn, and that's Crab, and that's Webley coming through as well. I'm not going to go to the replay because we're on the final lap. We got the notification. Niperez, the BMW, trying to snag a top 5 position as they go up Mountain Straight for the final time today. Koza's got a 4-second gap. Cooley is less than a second behind Vic Chan right now. We're sticking with this battle between 5th, 6th and 7th. Ethan Cale still in championship contention. We're 3, 2, 1. Gone 000. We're on the final lap. Chris Cooley, that's the gap between he and Vic Chan. So it gives you a bit of an idea on where they're at. Koza has jumped the pack. He's almost 4 seconds the gap. He's got this one in hand. He's got 3/4 of a lap to go to take victory here. What could have been at Kyalami when he put it on pole position. So this is a bit of a redemption story for him. But we're going to stick with Pickford, Niperez and Cale. They go down through the S's for the final time today. Down through the Dipper. Chances fast running out. Antoon as well. He's looking like he's not going to be able to get past Cooley. Chris Cooley's got a podium position in hand. We've got 196. He's down here at the final turn. So hopefully that doesn't cause any dramas for these guys that are about to come through. Koza is just at the chase. I'll pick him up in a very moment. So as I mentioned, he took out pole position last time around at Kyalami. It didn't end the way that he wanted it to. This time though, Jamie Koza is going to come through the final turn, and he is going to be the winner of round number 3. Congratulations, Jamie Koza. Vic Chan in P2. Chris Cooley up 43 positions from where he started. Comes home 4th. Phil Antoon in 4th. So he finishes 4th. And Ethan Cale is going to come home in P7. I'll quickly work that out in a second as everyone else crossing the line. This is going to have championship repercussions for everyone. Curran crossing in 15th. Crab in 14th. Layla Bell, she finishes 16th. Bracefield 17th. Zoo and Newman coming through. But the one that we want to check in on is, Hind is not going to be in contention here. I'll just double check all of that, and then I think we've got a championship winner. All right, so congratulations to Jamie Koza. There's some cars out there doing donuts. So let's have a look. So Phil Antoon, he finished 4th, so that's plus 47 points. So that is 3, 1, 10. I'm doing the math here. I think that's 143. And then Cale finished 7th, which is 44 points. Which is 2, 1, 10, 14. Oh, 1 point. Phil Antoon has won the championship. Congratulations, by my calculations anyway. Phil Antoon, I do believe, is our championship winner. 142, Ethan Cale to 143, Phil Antoon. So I have to double check that. But yeah, I think that is correct. Let me quickly, where's my calculator? Here you go, I've got my calculator right here. Alright, hang on, let's double check this before I get too carried away. So, Antoon was on 96, plus 47. Yeah, it's 143. And Ethan Cale was on 98. And he finished 7th, plus 44 is 142. So Phil Antoon 1 point the difference between he and Ethan Cale. And I do believe he is our championship winner. Congratulations to Phil Antoon. Ethan Cale will finish second. And who will finish third? I'm not too sure. John Zhu, potentially. He finished 17th. Layla Bell, she finished... Where did Layla Bell finish? I can't see it. She might have already left the server. So Zhu finished 17th. I think Bell was higher than that somehow. But whew, that safety car at the end really made it super exciting. It was just cruising along before that. But all right, that is until it all gets made official, of course, all that sort of stuff. So. But nonetheless, provisional championship winner is Phil Antoon. Congratulations to him. Save that. Yep. Cool. All right. I believe we're all done here. So everyone's left the server. So that concludes the AAES Summer Series 2-hour Enduro series, and Phil Antoon looks like he's our championship elect, so congratulations to him. Ethan Cale second, and we'll have to work out Connor Hine, John Zhu, or Layla Bell came in third, but that's everything. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed that. As I mentioned, there's going to be a 6-hour enduro series. I think there's going to be like one race a month coming up, so keep an eye in the Discord and keep an eye on for broadcast times and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's everything. Hope you all enjoyed that. Thanks for everyone in the chat. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of. And we'll see how we go for the next one. So thanks for everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great Saturday night. And I'll see you next time.